I'm Mary Portas.
Mary, why you bugging?
I made my name turning department store Harvey Nichols into a fashion powerhouse.
Mary, I need your hugging.
Now I'm turning my attention to a retailer that I think has untapped potential. Charity shops. We're in the middle of the worst financial crisis and environmental crisis in living memory.
And the funniest thing about this was, I mean, I am going to pause it and do a bit of this jump in and like skip in, is that like it's such a weird like facet of it, is that she makes such sense, and it's a really good idea to run your shop in a really good way to make efficiency and sales and all this. But because a charity shop is staffed by people who are volunteers, you can't expect anyone to have this knowledge experience, nor can you force them to do anything or anything like that. So you sort of have to like guide your way between the two. And like another business would close down because they would be not effective, but a charity shop doesn't have to close down because it's not efficient or effective. It can still exist. So it's a very strange business that wouldn't exist in a free market, because they would be, you know, they wouldn't sell enough products, they wouldn't make enough money, their competition would beat them out. You'd have to do these things that she's going to teach them, otherwise you'd get beat out. But and it's funny watching people resist and like having like personal feelings about the shop as well.
His biggest charity is to hand over one of their worst performing shops in Orpington to me. In order for me to understand how charity shops work, I need to get under the skin of it, and therefore I am.
Is it a bit quiet? Do you need it boosted? Because I might have to turn off the background music, but then that might hurt us because it might be even more easy to copyright it. Let's boost it a little bit because it is quiet, isn't it?
To be managing my own charity shop. And today, I see my shop for the very first time. Jesus, where am I? Where's my shop? There's not much money here. This isn't.
I'll tell you something that I like about it as well is, like, she's very down to earth. The whole setup's very down to earth, isn't it? Normal high street. And, like, she's done the posh London stuff, but she's quite happy to walk into this and feels very natural being part of just people on the high street as well. She's like, you know, I like her for that, and she's not like she's not snobby about it in any way. Like, despite coming from this like high-end fashion world, the Harvey Nicks and stuff.
Be easy. Oh, there's me. Save the children. God save me. I've never worked in charity retail, and so before I take over, I've arranged to go back to the floor to work as a volunteer for the day.
Oh, this is her. I recognise her.
This interaction as well, the interaction between the ladies that work at the charity shop and like she's got the Vidal Sassoon bob, she's got the tights that like she's obviously wearing designer clothes, yeah. Like she's a retail magnate in certain aspects, isn't she? She's like she knows what she's doing and she's like stylish and all this. And then she's in the charity shops with it's like almost it feels like a bit of an Absolutely Fabulous episode, but like she's not that like, but you know what I mean? Like,
Hello, welcome to Save the Children Fund Orpington.
Hello, and you are?
Jean.
Jean.
Yes,
Is this your
that's
shop?
right.
Are you in charge?
No.
God, right, okay, then who is? Who's in charge?
Nobody.
Nobody?
No, we're all volunteers, and at the moment we don't have a shop leader.
Okay.
Do you want to take your jacket off?
Hello, I'm Mary.
No, this is
do you
Graham.
want to,
Graham,
do you want to
hi.
take your jacket off?
Yes.
They might accidentally sell it.
We hang our coats in here, Mary.
My shop has 43 unpaid volunteers, just like Jean and Graham, and I wonder how on earth they run the shop with no one person in charge.
Who says, right, these are the jobs that need to be done today?
We just slot in. We slot in. We normally consult one another.
No,
You know, that's right.
Okay.
This all sounds very amicable, but I don't think the democratic approach is necessarily working wonders for the shop floor.
Like, it's really obvious what's going wrong as well, isn't it? Like, it's really obvious why this isn't how other shops operate. But it's also obvious why the volunteers might just think, you know, we've got things coming in, that seems nice, put it out for 50p. And like it just turns into this like jumble sale, but you're on the high street, so you can't really be running a jumble sale because jumble sales don't operate on the high street, do they? But
It's a mess.
and like there's also this idea, I think, like watching this, that because someone's supplied it to us like giving it as a donation, then we should put it out and wait for it to sell. But that's also not how stock works in shops, is it? But
This is a little bric-a-brac, really, and people coming in always look here.
OK, now we're in the fashion department.
and I think as well, what's funny as well is I imagine that lady likes going around charity shops and looking through the bric-a-brac herself. But again, it's not considering the wider market.
Oh, mind you, it's got some
Really.
crockery up the back there.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So,
Yes, this is still bric-a-brac.
So the fashion with bric-a-brac, that works, does it?
Yes, yeah, it's a case of where there's room in the shop.
I would guess that is the case.
Yes.
OK.
This is
And
posh.
This is posh wear.
Posh wear.
What's that doing in evening wear, Jean? Who goes out in that in the evening? Is that you, Graham, sticking that up there?
We stopped
She actually cares about the evening, and they're just laughing. Like.
selling underwear because people would go in the changing room, take new underwear and leave their old underwear. So we stopped selling.
So people would come in here and change their knickers in there and leave you the old ones. But why would you do that? Why would you get up and think I must just pop down to the charity shop and change my pants?
I know.
Is that a potty in there? Is that someone's potty?
I can't imagine anyone buying anything off these shelves. And hidden out the back are the volunteers'
But look, let's be fair, we all enjoy this, don't we? We all enjoy rooting through a box of tapes or like whatever. But I totally understand. That's got. I see that one. That's now. I haven't got that one. Oh, but I understand where Mary's coming from, and I completely 100,000,000% agree with Mary. And I love the dynamic of this.
responsible for choosing it.
Who's that coming out the back door? So can I meet the back room
Yes.
girls?
We can hear you in here.
Hello, I'm Mary.
This is Iris.
And I'm Mary.
No, they can't.
All right.
Can't be too, Mary.
I'm afraid so.
What's your surname?
Hibbert.
You're going to be Hibbert from now on.
Look what I've been given already. Not
Yes,
even
a
one.
dirty one.
If you turned it round, the other side's cleaner.
But we all have. I mean, really good. I mean, the Save the Children spend a lot of money on these.
Yeah.
50 years
ago.
Iris and Hib have been doing one day a week here for over 20 years. I'm going to join them on sorting duty. Let's see if I can't find some hidden gems for that shop floor.
Where's my workspace? There's no space to tip it.
Look at it. I get it. You're going to accept all the donations, aren't you? And then you're going to have to work through them. But look at it.
Well, we put it onto the floor because there could be things like used needles or something really dirty and grotty and not nice, moist.
Moist.
I think they were making a joke about them being 20 years old, but they're probably not very modern.
Well, how else would...
What's moist? What do you get that's moist in a bag?
Just imagine something that could be moist. Underclothes.
Oh, Hibbert, I can't even think about
it's
it.
true. It's old sanitary towels and Durex and all sorts of things.
My husband thinks I wear gloves, but it's easier not to.
There's someone's old carpet tiles.
Yeah.
It's easier to bring it drop it outside here than it is to go to the tip. You see, we're just down the road. They've got to go several miles to the tip.
It's a bloody waste of time. It's just a
It
waste.
is.
It is.
It is.
This is like working down the dump. Iris and Hib deserve a medal.
It is just too much work for you two, isn't it, in all honesty?
We don't go home worrying about it because it's only a voluntary job.
But also, you know, Iris, the truth of the matter is you shouldn't have to worry about it, should you? And if you can come in and do your best, but this should be better.
I'm just astounded on two levels. First of all, what rubbish people have just brought in there. I mean, actually, I would say 70% of what's in that back room is just utter rubbish. And then the other bit of these women who've given up their lives. I mean, we're talking 30 years, 38 years.
Before I head home, the shop's area manager, Nick Pygott, has dropped in to see me.
Nick.
Mary, good afternoon. Lovely to meet you.
He used to be a wine retailer.
What do you think she's going to think of him? What do you think she's going to think of him? The shop's in a mess. The back room's in a mess. They haven't got enough, organisation. The ladies are being asked to do a job that is pretty extreme in some cases with all that rubbish. And she feels like the ladies are, having a pretty, it's not that they're doing, they're turning up, they're doing the job. Like, they shouldn't be asked to go over and above and, take it home with them and, stress and worry. So who's at fault here and what's going on? Hello, welcome to area manager or whatever his name is, shop manager, like, who is now going to, I presume, get the lickings of a dog.
He's now got 13 shops in his care, but I can't see much evidence of his retail experience here.
I have to say I'm a bit of a state of shock. I actually didn't know it was as bad as this, you know. It just seems a bit like Paddy.
This is the Gordon Ramsay bit, isn't it? Where she gives him a load of shit and he has to take it, and like he does the Gordon Ramsay kickback, yeah, he gives the pushback, and I don't know about this.
It's marketing a lot.
But if he in retail, and Mary Porter's, what's her name? Mary Queen of Shops, Mary Porter. It's Mary Porter, isn't it? If she's in your vicinity, you're just going to be like, what you say, whatever you say, yes, thank you, please, I agree with you.
Lovely way, the kind of social.
Like, she's massively successful in the same like works area that this guy works in. He's running a series of charity shops. She's done Harvey Nicks. So you'd think that he would just be like, absolute, like, any second of your time that you have to give to me, I will be here on bated breath. You are brilliant. I will listen to everything you have to say.
Gathering for these old women, and if they make some money, it just seems, well, you know, that's a bonus. You've come from a commercial retail background. I mean, what things have you put into this business? What have you changed?
Oh, delay, that's bad. What have I changed? There have been improvements made, but certainly not as many as I would have liked. We've certainly stabilised the pricing. The pricing, certainly, there's...
But I find it stabilised. I find it... I'm bonkers. I mean, I've got a camera here.
Yeah.
A decent enough Olympus camera at £1.20. I've got a Catherine Cookson dog-eared old naff novel up the back, softback at 70p. I can't see that as a pricing structure, Nick. And when I speak with the staff, it seems like it's done like that.
Every shop is extremely individual. Every shop has its little ways. Every shop has...
Yeah, but it
has
shouldn't have its
bizarre-
little ways. Do you know what I mean? That's the problem I've got.
Yeah.
Jean having her little ways, Iris having her little ways, and I know they're volunteers.
Yeah.
I understand that. But it is about saying to them, this is what we need to achieve. This is how much money we need to make. This is how we believe we can do it. Are you all on board, you know? And I think they're crying out for that, Nick. That's what I feel. OK, well, I'll tell you what you could...
Is that a joke, or is that right, Slick Willie Deeg? He now earns 95% of every pound from every shop in his area, which paid for his £2 million mansion. Is that a joke, or is that be right? I assume it's a joke.
To start with. Do you live locally?
No, not desperately, sorry.
Could you wash my little Save the Children? Do you have a washing machine at home?
I do have a washing machine at home.
Thanks very much. Because that smells. And that would be nice. I'd feel good if I put on one that was clean in the morning.
I can probably get you a brand new one if you want.
No, it's OK. Just wash that one. Brilliant.
You would definitely listen to what she's got to say, though, wouldn't you? Because she can absolutely, like, you know, rip the pants off him in terms of her career achievements. So.
Someone's put please on there. Oh, I can see my language is going to have to totally change. Who's put please on? Please? Oh, God.
She's put a staff meeting sign and someone's adjusted it to say please. Look at that massive chain thing she's wearing. Is that the Illuminati? Is she in the Masons?
Hello.
The Masons taking over the charity shops.
Today, I'm going to meet every...
I do agree, Slick Willie Deeg. I know that charity in the main, like, you know, the principle's good, but it can be hijacked by business, can't it? And, like, everything from a dog rescue that ships in dogs so that they keep their doors open selling dogs, or, like, obviously we want to save the dogs, and I support the dog rescue, but I don't want them to sort of see it like a business where they have to keep, like, this is the problem with it's like the Peter Folding effect, isn't it? It's having this financial capitalism at the same time as trying to do charity, and like where are the lines drawn and what happens, and good people are always going to make the right decisions and stuff. But the ones that I find the most, I guess, egregious is where you've got like CEOs of big companies that make millions and like their charities, and you think, I know it's a big job and everything, but it's still a charity, and like, you know, it's a desk job or whatever. It's not like, you know, some of these, you know, like, I mean, like, you know, the higher management positions, you just think, like, are you really worth that amount of money to that charity, or would the charity not benefit from somebody just doing it with a passion and you taking slightly less? Like, if they reduce the value of the offer for the money for the job, you might, oh, well, all those people are going to be CEO of something else, and you won't get a very good CEO. But what if you get one that cares? Like, maybe you would. I don't know. I totally agree that you want the money to go to the right place. Yeah, that's a good shout out. The hospice. Yeah, like we've got a hospice down the road that I did do / support, and I like the local cat rescue as well. They've got a bin in the supermarket where you can put food in the bin for the local cats. Like, it's a local cat rescue, you know what I mean? It's not like a big like international organisation or anything, like with any sort of supply chain worries. It's just a like woman who wanted to look after some cats. So yeah, like in some ways I was saying charity does not begin at home, because remember a while ago someone said, or it came up in chat, not someone said it, but it came up in chat, and I said, oh, I don't believe on a thing, and I said charity doesn't belong at home, that's selfishness. But like when charity begins at home, when it's like looking after the local community, then I think that is important. Yeah. And you know more directly where the money's going to, I suppose. But I still think, in spite of that, having said all that, because I knew that what Stick Really Dig's saying is, you know, I agree. I don't think it's all a massive scam, and I do think that there are organisations that do good work. Like, I think they have to prove beyond doubt that they're doing the good work. The value of your money versus how much good work they're doing, that's you're not going to ever know exact, are you? But I want to be able to see, I want to know that they're doing that good work, and then I'm happy to try and support that. So I've given a bunch of money to charity over the last year and a bit. I've been told off by my accountant, by my mum, who looked through my books and said, you've given a lot of money to charity and we can't write that off, that's come out of your pocket. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't think I'm going to stop necessarily, but it is important to select the right ones, I guess. But at the same time, it is easy to like pick the bigger ones and the ones that you see doing big projects and say, well, thanks for having a really straightforward website. I'm happy with that as well. I like to try and, you've seen us do it on the streams, like I like to try and do a bit here and a bit there to, try and spread it out. So if one of them does turn out to be bad, at least I didn't give all my money to the one. But Salvation Army, yeah. Like there's lots of different smaller organisations. I think the Lifeboats is always one that I remember, because there used to be a little money box thing at the doctors, and you could put the money in, it would make the lifeboat jiggle. But like, yeah, like a lot of our society does run on like people being good to each other, I think, even though it like doesn't factor in economically in some ways, if you know what I mean. I don't know what I mean, but you know what I mean. Like, we don't purely run on a free market where people just have to like live by the cut and throat free market, which is what these ladies are going to push back on now when Mary Queen of Shops says there is a little free market, and you're a part of it, and you have to just learn to live with it. The penny swirlers in McDonald's. I always used to get my nan to give me the money to go in and put it in the box. Can I have some money to put in the box? Nan would give me 10p to put in the box.
Member of my sales team. Hi, ladies. Morning. Hello. Irene, hi.
Marion, pleased to meet you.
Marion.
Yes, we do the toys, and we've been doing them for over 40 years.
No. 40 years you two do the toys. Is that when they first launched Monopoly?
Don't be cruel.
Iris!
Maybe they did buy those things 20 years ago.
Looking efficient in turquoise and blue and jade.
It's not turquoise.
Do you mind?
But yeah, the directors earn a lot of money, because the argument for it is that if you want proper directors for your company and CEOs and executives, then the market rate for them is this amount of money. So either you pay peanuts and you get bad working people, or you pay the going rate and you give us fair money, because otherwise we're off to be the director of some other company, huh? That's probably the reason for it. And the push rate, obviously the people behind who gets the money are the directors, aren't they? So they're going to say, oh, we do deserve a big bonus this year, I think we'll put that up. And like, welcome to a capitalist economy. It's not good, but it doesn't mean, like, that's every company though. Like, that is literally every company, and charities might not be that different in this aspect, but ultimately they do more with their money profit wise for good than any other company in that way though. Like, some of the money does actually go to the good causes eventually, I think. I mean, like I say, it's all about a balance, isn't it? Yeah, we talked about it just then, but yeah, agreed. Like the directors earn a lot. I don't think it's right that they should, and I don't want to contribute to a charity knowing that I'm giving a director more money for their massive mansion. But rough with the smooth, I guess.
Get your colours right.
Come on in.
Don't feel. Oh, the dog's just jumped out on my trousers with mud all over it. So
That's your excuse.
in the park,
What were you doing wandering around the park on your own?
our journey down.
Was it?
Yeah. So I have to go and mop my trousers. Good morning, Mary. Nice to see you.
Too. Morning, Nick.
Morning, Mary. How are you?
Good, I'm good. Well, morning, and thank you for being here on time. I'm here to help. Truthfully, this business isn't making as much money as it could do, okay? We need to clean up the act, and we need to get some retail standards in here. So the first thing I want to do today is I want to re-merchandise the shop. So it's going to be a big job, all hands on deck. We're going to set up a proper system out the back, because if you think that's the heart of the business coming through...
Oh, I 100% agree with you, Mary. I've been keen to rearrange it for the last year, and as June will tell you, we've met some fierce resistance.
Yes.
Oh, you cock. June will tell you. The other lady didn't want to change, but we want to change, but June didn't want to, like, well, the other lady, he's making politics and sucking up to Mary. He wasn't sucking up to Mary yesterday, was he? Now he's sucking up to Mary in front of everyone. June will tell you. I've got him pinned as the villain. I don't like him. I don't like the way he set June up now. June's going to tell you, and then this other lady doesn't like what June's about to say. Look at her face. Paulie's mom from Out the Sopranos. She doesn't like it. So...
Who's Fierce Resistance from? Who are the Fierce Resistance?
People who've been here a very long time and don't want change, I'm afraid.
Well, you know what? Today...
Why did no one mention who it was? Surely they're there, or did they not turn up?
Change happens.
Fantastic.
Okay? You don't change with the world. We're
Is
all
it
going
her?
to be sitting here for another 40 years.
We're all trying to point the finger at which one of these is the old one that don't want the change.
I won't be.
You might be, Irene. We never know.
I won't.
Should we say we should at least go through this year and focus?
What did she say?
Sitting here for another 40 years.
I won't be.
Oh, bless.
We're all going to be sitting here for...
Fantastic.
Okay? You don't change with the world. We're all going to be sitting here for another 40 years.
I won't be.
If you don't change with the world, we'll all be sitting here like the same in another 40 years. And she goes, I won't be.
You might be, Irene. We never know.
I won't.
I won't.
Should we say we should at least go through this year and focus this? Of course you will. Stop it. You will. Brilliant, ladies. Onwards. On one hand.
Onwards. Come on, Buttons.
Follow ladies, on ladies, super ladies, nurture.
On the patronise, you know? But on the other hand, they're in another world. They're in another world. I mean,
And it is
that
this is a total culture clash, isn't it? They are in another world. Yes. You from Harvey Nichols is like there is a limit to how much Harvey Nichols you're going to be able to do here, and it is that's pure poetry. This is.
To sums it all up for me.
Look at her haircut.
Myself, like the rest of
Like, look,
Please, on the poster sums it all up for me.
when she turns her head that way, right? Look at how good her haircut is. The colours, the fall of it, the nape of the neck, the shape. Like the haircut's great, yeah. And then it cuts to this lady, who equally has just a very she hasn't got a bad haircut, but it's quite. She's put rollers in it, I think, to give it a bit of zhuzh. It just.
Myself, like the rest of them, are committed to children.
I haven't seen that. No, sorry, step it up, whatever. I haven't, but I'm going to have to continue with this now. But
If it's going to make things for children better, then I'm in favour.
this
of
one's
it.
an hour long, and I don't know if we're going to get through it properly, or it will end up making an episode or whatever. But I do want to now I've started it. I feel like I have to push through to at least some resolution. I can skip some bits, but it's all gold. So the less I talk, the quicker it goes. But the more I talk, the safer we are for copyright. So.
With my army of OAPs, I am determined to get this shop into better shape.
Maybe I have to speed it up a bit.
Most retailers put their best sellers near the front door. Clothes should be our biggest money spinner, so the bric-a-brac is going up the back, and we're going to create a fashion department up front.
So I imagine that's an instant problem for them, because a lot of the ladies, I think, like the bric-a-brac that work there, and I think just the boring clothes is not what they're in it for. I think they like the little knickknacks and the bric-a-brac, yeah? The sorting through it, the jumble sale, and just the boring clothes might not be. But Mary Queen of Shops comes in, she's like all about the clothes, isn't she? All about the Harvey Nicks, the clothes. And she makes total sense. But now they've got to rip everything apart and do it differently.
I need to change the mannequins in the windows. Will you choose something fabulous?
No, you choose it.
Would you choose something for the window, my darling? You don't like doing that either?
I don't mind, but I can't think of anything in here.
I asked one person to dress the window. One said no. I asked the next person, they said no. And the third person, no. And then we got all four in the windows. I'm starting to lose the will.
I'm beginning to realise that getting a job done here isn't as straightforward as I thought. They do their own thing.
Just do their own thing. Go into their little comfort zone.
Everybody else a sandwich?
I can't see what we're going to achieve, right, really? Do you, Jean? What can we achieve?
Well, we shall have more space.
Yeah.
We won't have all this junk. And everything that comes in now will go out quicker.
Hopefully, yeah.
Where do we want to start?
Well, we won't.
Move some of these out.
In the stockroom, regional manager Nick is finally getting his wish for a clear-out. I'm leaving him to create a system.
It needs to be fairly democratic, and even in a democracy there needs to be somebody in charge, and hopefully that's me. Though you wouldn't always think it.
But it's not a democracy, is it? Because you're in charge by nature of being the manager. They've not voted for you. So you think the ideas should come through democratically, but you should be in charge, which is a stupid thing, isn't it? Because you should be having the ideas, being as you're in charge, and they... Like, where's the I don't even understand where the democracy has to come into this. They're volunteers, I understand, but like, why does it have to be a democracy? It's not a democracy. You're in charge.
But no, I mean, everything that we do, the volunteers have to be behind. They have to support it. So we decided.
Or you might think, this is the same problem as Alan's got and Darkside Phil's got with their, like, Alan's got it with his spanners, Darkside Phil's got it with his people that watch him. These are the people that have come together because you allow them to have that say, yeah? So if you make a different decision and they don't like it, some of them won't like it, they have to leave or stay and put up with the decision. Like, you then get people who will accept the decision. Like, the new people who work there will say, "Oh, this is the system, is it? I'll accept that." Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can't say because they decided not to do it, I can't do it. Like, they don't have to be the volunteer. Like, they're volunteers, but you don't have to have everyone to volunteer be equal say in the running of the shop, do you? It just seems fucking ludicrous, to be honest.
We need 2 rails, yeah?
At this rate, half the volunteers will have kicked the bucket by the time Nick takes control.
Here we go through it.
Leader. Nick is the leader. So let's get this focus.
Well, it's going to be a little bit more democratic than that, Mary, because it's going to be volunteers who are using it, so we have to involve their decision.
Oh, yeah. But democracy... Graham, democracy I have no problem with as long as we listen and then we go, there's the vision.
Absolutely.
Democratic and everybody having a point of view and this is our old way and we never move forward.
And yeah, I agree with her as well. Like, I'm quite happy to listen to the group, but then at the end of it, we've listened to the group for 40 minutes, everyone's had a chance to put their hand up, now this is what we're doing. Like, some people aren't going to like it though, but like, you can't, if you just let it to be the group, then no one's going to like anything enough for everyone to do it. I've made that point.
Iris, what are you worrying about the tea? Just 2 seconds.
Big ups, it is about charity shops, yeah. Your mum bought a coat for £40 the other day, not like the £2 once upon a time, yeah. It's partly this factor, it's partly people getting a hold of the charity shops and saying, hey, you know, you're not idiots, right? Like, we've got a charity shop in our town. I remember when it opened, it's the hospice shop, actually. It's the one for the hospice. And they really have it switched on. They're like this. They've got, like, designer stuff in one bit, nice jewellery. Like, you feel like you're walking into a proper high street, you know, high-end-ish shop, because they're very good at doing their charity shop, and they're in a marketplace with actual shops, so they need to be. You can't just be a bric-a-brac shop, and like if they're naive enough to sell clothes that are worth £40 for £2, they will close down and go by the wayside, because who should be doing that as a business? So we used to get good, I think we used to sort of hope for, because I do charity shop shopping, yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. I think we used to hope to be able to go into like a charity shop and get like a Versace or a, you know, something like that they didn't notice, they didn't realise, oh, that's Gucci. They not know I'm getting it for £2? You know, but nowadays I think it's fair enough that they're much more astute and that you still get a good deal, but like, yeah, like the days of the £2, you know, and like maybe some stock that would have been £2 instead of £40, like they don't stock it anymore because it's a waste of their shelf space and time to try and sell £2 coats. You'd rather sell one £40 coat than 22 £22 coats, wouldn't you? Like, it just makes more sense. So this is what's going to happen in here as well. I kind of agree with it, but I think that bric-a-brac space, that £2 coat, that moves down to the tip shop now. Like, that's where you go if you want to try and find something that's a bargain that they didn't know or might be good on the eBay. But at the same time, the people that work in the tip shop have got their eye on everything, haven't they? And they're checking eBay for all of the listings before they, like. But you can legitimately go to the tip shop and get some cheap items and list them on eBay and sell them for more. Whether they will sell, you know, whether they will eventually sell for more is a different question. But you can legitimately do that. But the charity shops, not so much these days, I think. Although, you know, still there must be some good bargains to be had. I'm not going to shout them down. They overprice the cheap stuff too. Yeah, I guess like shelf space in retail on the high street is pretty expensive these days, to be honest. So I'm surprised they even exist. Like they get some what it is they get some freedom from business rates, don't they? Charity shops don't have to pay business rates, so one of the bigger levies is just obliterated. So they've got like a little bit of a head start, but in time that won't be enough. Like your record shop used to value the records for, and that's an interesting one, because again, that's somewhere I would go to flick through records and hope to find a bargain. Not to sell it on either, just to know that I've added a record to my collection that is probably worth about 10, 20 quid. And it's not even big money, is it? But when you're running a business, if every little diamond in the rough goes through your fingers, then that's not good. I'd like to think, though, that what they should do, like, because they should know the power of the charity shop, they should think, right, this is a Versace, it will go on eBay for 300 quid, but we're not running cash converters, so we'll put it on for 50 quid, still really big discount, charity shop money, but quite a lot of money for someone to pay in a charity shop, and everyone wins. You know, someone will find that and think they've got a bargain, and we'll have got a bargain, and we'll have put some price on it, because we're not stupid, but we're not here to list things on eBay and to try and get like vinted clothes, are we? We're a charity shop, so pass those bargains on. Maybe someone will end up eBaying, listing it, having fun. That's why they come to the shop, to dig through the stuff. That's how you get the customers. So don't remove that incentive of like the lucky find. You know, you can't remove that incentive, even if you're switched on enough to know the value of everything, market value of everything, and there can be no lucky finds. Like, then the only lucky find is that you might find an old Game Boy, and although it's expensive, you can't find them very many places, so you found one, or stuff like that. But I would say the charity shop should almost be like a, like I said, an incentive to go there, is that they know there's things that they're undervaluing, and they do it anyway, so that you get that lucky find. You know, and if you know someone that works there, they might say, "Ooh, check the sale rail today. We've got something good in on there that I think you'll like." You know. They might know about it, and that's cool, because then whoever comes in on that whatever day gets the cool lucky find. The worry, I'll tell you what, the worst thing I find, I know the directors, we talked about the directors, yeah? We don't want the directors to be overzealous with their wages, but the worst one that I think I worry about with the tip shop is the one, like I said, because some people that work there are just on like community service or whatever. It's like, you don't want them to get something good in and think, right, that's for me, I'm having that. You know, we had a nice Versace jacket in the charity shop. Doris took it. It's gone. Like, you'd think they'd think these items are good, so I'll put them on sale for the good of the shop. Like that idea that somebody's in the back room picking through all the good knickknacks, so you're never going to find a gold ring, because every ring that comes through, Doris is fucking checking, and any bit of gold she has. You know, that would be the worst for me. So I hope they're honest enough to say anything that comes through the door is a donation. I can't buy it. You know, I can't ring up my friend and say, quick, come in, there's a diamond necklace we're selling for cheap. You know, that would be really fucked up, wouldn't it? So.
Any more coffees?
Staff get a discount. They shouldn't get anything. They shouldn't be able to buy anything. Because otherwise they can just price things up cheap and then have them. It's just fucked up. Like, they get a discount on top of that as well. They get first pick of the items. Like, the reason they're working... So I'm guessing, like, this lady's wearing a nice designer jacket that she got off this rail, and the nice designer hoodie that she got off this rail. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm guessing these ladies are dressed head to toe in, like, the best designer gear that comes through the charity shop that may or may not have been paid for a discount at whatever price they put the price tag on. Seems bizarre you'd have that going on. I suppose there'd always be a few perks of the job, and some people might see it as a perk of the job, but the honesty is to try and make as much money for the charity. So the thing in this as well, when they give the kickback that annoys me, is it's for trying to make as much money for the charity as possible. So do whatever you can, and certainly don't take the nice jacket for yourself and do a discount.
I'd have mine,
Whilst I leave Nick...
And also, one of the problems that they're having before Mary gets on with it is that the ladies that work there don't have the market knowledge to price items correctly, we've seen, and also they don't know what is and isn't valuable to the market. So they make the shop this mess, they stock all this rubbish, and... value's quite important, isn't it? There might be in there somewhere we're talking about this diamond in the rough. We're talking about, like, this is the problem with charity shops that they've got, is that the rough no one wants. Like, all that bric-a-brac, you might find a diamond ring or a magic item. You know, you might find a nice designer dress or what, but it's all the rubbish that surrounds it. That's the problem. And the good charity shop in my town, they said, right, well, don't just have diamonds in the rough. Have just diamonds and no rough, because no one wants the rough. So just stock as many diamonds as you can, and then, like, people will sort through different good quality items. I should go down there more often, actually, because I used to have my shop in town, so I used to be able to go out whenever I wanted, and, like, you know, I'd be in the charity shops early to check out the new jackets, get myself a snazzy jacket. Yeah, like, also I love the idea of it, that it was, like, quite cheap, and, like, you know, I don't want to say disposable, but, like, if I bought something from a charity shop and wore it a few times and didn't care that much about it, like, I can either donate it back or throw it away. It was relatively cheap, yeah? Like, but if you buy something really expensive and you wear it and someone spills wine on it or something, you're like, oh my god. So I used to like the fact that it's not disposable, because not like Primark disposable fast fashion, but a sort of easy come, easy go approach to grabbing a new snazzy jacket or something. I like all the retro and vintage stuff. I thought it was fun. Although I don't want to dress up like I'm in the 1940s. I thought the whole concept of retro and vintage, you know, when I was growing up, flares were cool at one point, pedal pushers went into fashion at one point. Charity shops have always had the ability to, like, provide cool, individual, random items, haven't they? A nice leather coat or something. Well, not leather because I'm vegan, duh. But when I was younger, looking like the Crow, you know, wanting to look like the Crow, you go around the charity shops trying to look like the Crow, looking at all the coats. So... yeah, you found a dead cat in a... that's awful as well. They're not getting paid as volunteers, they should get a discount. Well, no, I think they shouldn't, because I don't think they should be allowed to buy anything from the shop, because it incentivises them to cheat the system. I think they should only be allowed to put things on the shelf and not take them off for their own purpose, and that if you want to volunteer, then that's the choice, but you don't... like, by volunteering, you don't get special privileges because you volunteer. Because, I mean, maybe you get your lunch or something, but you shouldn't even, should you? Because the whole point is you volunteer. So that's the premise of it. Like, if you want rewarding for it, you want paying for it, or some sort of extra bonus, then you might want to go and work a job where you get paid. This is a volunteer position. So I'm going to say no. Your mate found a bag of Charlie while trying to jack it on. Did someone leave it in there and then they put it on the shelf before they checked the pockets? Or did someone put it in the pocket whilst it was in the charity shop? The police are onto me. Quick, stash my jacket in this shop. I'll come and buy it back later. Then they come back and someone's bought the jacket. Well, like, what might have happened there, I always worried about this. What might have happened there is they've taken their jacket off to get changed in the changing rooms into a snazzy jacket to see if they like it. And someone's bought their jacket while they're in the changing rooms. And the people that work in the charity shop have just sold it for 50p and it's gone.
Muddle on, I need to get back to merchandising the fashion. But there's a major stumbling block.
This is a random old bunch of stuff. But Alibaba's pants. Who's brought those in?
I can't find any fashion among the front.
Oh, no.
Exactly, oh no, so who's put it out?
Who would wear this?
Anyone in here?
No, not even
No.
me.
Well, this
wants
is
to look like-
listen. Isn't this the problem? Is that if they would wear it, it's gone. So you need to bring the customers in. So it's quite important for the charity shop that these ladies are not the customers, because otherwise you're not going to draw any customers in. I mean, whatever they don't want, other people might come and buy, but anything these ladies want, and these ladies probably do go and shop in charity shops and stuff, I think it's quite important they don't take things home.
Canary.
At the moment, it's old birds.
And this is really hard because Mary Portas does work in the heart of fashion at whatever, London and that, and like, you know, this lady's work at the charity shop, so it's going to be hard for them to conceptualise what's current high street. But I suppose you could just walk down the high street, couldn't you? And you could like maybe get a feel of what the other shops are doing and say, if it's not like that, we don't really want it out in front. What else happens to it is they goes on the rag trade. They still make money from it, but less money because it just goes to the rag. Like, you know, they tear it up and they sell it by the weight. So there's like a waste material that gets processed in some way, I don't know. But they sell it to the rag trade, don't they? So, or you could, you know, in bulk. They're not going to sell these on, once they've gone through the charity shop system, if they bin them, they get ragged. They do not end up being resold somewhere else or donated somewhere else. So they're making the decision on these. And I suppose the ladies feel a bit guilty if they say, we're not going to stock it. Someone donated it, we're throwing it in the bin. But they still get a sort of pittance back off the rag trade, don't they?
From the 80s, Barbara Woodhouse walking the dog. This is the sort of crap you get at the end of a car boot sale. I'm worried I've got to take money on this. This is my next week's takings. You know, part of me gets really quite angry about it. You know, but if I don't keep my humour up, I'll kill myself.
Although my new layout is getting there, we'll have to dig deep into those sacks to find clothes that are fit for these rails. It's time to call it a day.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. All they've done is sort of gut it, haven't they? They've got the front bit looking better, but they've gutted it. And I bet those ladies are not happy, and I bet there's some talking going on behind the scenes. I'm just going to have to check my dog.
Bye, guys. Thanks for your help. See you tomorrow. Bye, Wendy.
I've offered Hib a lift home and the chance to find out how my first day has gone down with the ladies.
Lost my will to live.
You might have got a ticket, I'm afraid, if you're round here.
I just thought this would be quite straightforward. But it's not, is it?
No.
Why is it then? When there's quite a bit of money, people don't live in these small houses, do they? They're lovely houses. Why is it that we've got rubbish in that shop?
Because we are just a dumping ground, really. I live just here, actually.
It's,
where the blue one, the car.
Thank you for your work today. You're a little star, Hib.
Thank you.
A little shining star up the back. Bye, darling. Bye.
My first day in the job is over, and I'm beginning to realise just what I've taken on. Yesterday proved one thing. If I'm going to turn my shop into a great high street retailer, I'm going to have to get better stock.
I've been completely and utterly astounded at how bad the merchandise, well, actually not merchandise, that would be too polite and too fabulous a word for it, but the crap that gets landed in the Orpington shop.
But what I find completely amazing is, why make the bother to bring that crap to the shop?
I want to know just how bad this problem is, so I've decided to head off to find out if other charity shops out there are suffering too. I've arranged to have a snoop round a mental health charity shop up in West Wickham.
Hello? Who's Christine? Hi, Christine.
Hello. I'm Mary.
Nice to meet you, Mary.
You too.
Welcome.
Tell me, what percentage of stuff that you get donated are you able to sell?
I would say quarter.
Oh, stop it.
No.
We'll be lucky if we open a black sack and you can get 2 items out of it.
So a quarter.
About quarter.
That's outrageous.
And I'll show you.
Chris and Caroline have very kindly put aside some of the treasures they've had donated over the last month.
These are what we were telling you.
touching
The
these.
rugby boots with the rugby pitch still on.
Someone's taken the effort, but what is in their brain? I mean, what is that? Underneath...
Hang on, no,
Stop
don't
it.
touch. Look, we've got a gadget, Mary. There you are, like, if you want to. Okay, rag bag.
I don't agree with that. This is someone thinking they're doing
There's the rag bag. Yeah, they've got the rag bag, look.
good. No, look at the colour of that bra.
Those ladies aren't wearing in fashion clothes. Let them have 50p of their choice, and I think items have to be on the shelf for an amount of time before staff can buy them. Okay, yeah, look. To be fair, I agree in that aspect. If it's not going to be stocked on the shelf as part of your fashion collection, they can have a go at it before it goes in the rag bag for sure. In fact, I'd let them choose. You know, they could have it for free before it goes in the rag bag. I do think there is fairness in that. But you encourage. I will also stick to my guns here. Is that you need to remove or discourage or not encourage the idea that if you work there, you get first pick of the good stuff, because otherwise it's going to cause problems. You know.
See, look, we're all girls together here, Mary. How long do you have to wear a bra for it to go like that? You know what I mean?
Dirty little... That has gone as hard as
a nice
an old crust bread.
Isn't it? I don't even know what it is. Oh, it's a jacket.
Jesus, it's crusted up. Oh, give me a break. Who has put that in? It's like a bit of old cracker wheat.
Yeah.
Lovely.
This is what we call galloping neck rot. And is this the terminal flatulence? You see, you have to laugh, really, because you cry.
Oh,
Mary,
you would.
Well, what is that?
What? Oh, God, that's a touch.
Oh, that's a baby snapper.
Oh, no more, Chris. Oh, no more.
Have
I
you had
can't.
enough?
Oh, dear God.
Some of this tat can be sold to rag merchants, but surely he won't pay for all of this rubbish.
This is filled twice a week. And am I right? It's about 45 quid, isn't it?
It's for £45 per bin.
Per bin.
You
So
have
it's
to pay
£90 out of
£90 a week.
my profits. £90 a
That's
week
a
could
lot
pay for a
of money,
part-time
isn't
therapist at the Mind Day Centre. That's what makes me so cross. When this should go in people's bins, their own bins.
That's ridiculous. What would you want me to do? If I'm really giving and can make a difference to charity, what would you want from this?
It's get people to take a second look in their bags
Make
before
people
they...
aware, innit?
Yeah.
Aware of what we
you know.
need and what they
Load
can
up
give
your
us.
black bag, but then tip it out and have a second look.
I'd really like to...
I'm questioning whether... I know the donation setup is simple, so people just leave things and then they get them. But I'm questioning whether you might want to have some sort of in-person donation where someone just checks the donations as they come in. Like, maybe no one's going to want to wait around for that, are they? Oh, they're going to look through the bag and I'm going to have to wait around. But, like, throwing them in the street and then just hoping that there's something good in that bag, that seems a bit of a worry. And obviously they proved it's not all good, is it? So, like, there definitely needs to be a tighter ship on that. I don't know how they're even going to fix that, other than you have to bring in the clothes and I have to see them and look at them and say thank you, thank you, thank you, rather than what's in the bag. I don't know how they're going to fix that.
to come to Chris's rescue and help solve this problem for every charity as well as mine. But before I try, I've come up with an idea to find out why usually ordinary people think it's okay to dump crap at the charity shop door.
OK, guys, let's go.
Me and my army of volunteers have come to Westfield Shopping Centre, home to some of the world's best-known retailers, and now my charity shop of shame.
OK, come and see my new shop. Iris, here.
I've gathered together some of the worst donations we've got. Gucci, eat your heart out.
It's until you see it like this that you realise what you've been doing. It's amazing to me.
It just gives that awareness to people when they're out spending, buying lovely things, that this is the sort of trash that people are dumping on charities. So, spoiled, dirty knickers. Would you ever dump anything like this in a charity shop?
Sometimes.
You would? You dump?
Not the knickers.
Look at that. Feel the quality.
Oh, my.
So it's educating the public not to dump on charity shops, yeah? Making them feel a bit guilty about it, whatever. Like, giving them some visual stimulus. But it's also not a good advert for your charity shop.
God. Oh, what about these trousers? Look at the crunch. No. This is what gets people delivered to charity shops.
That's disgusting.
Would you genuinely think it's charity?
No.
Would you do that?
No.
Hey fellas, I'm talking to you too. You guys know who I'm talking to. You'd better think.
Managed to make the most of the stock we've got. So what do they think?
I'm gonna lay right down here in the grass, and pretty soon all my troubles will
Just saying how wonderful. Yeah, the shop
very
is
nice.
beautiful. Wonderful. Yeah.
Great improvement.
Oh, gosh, I thought I'd come into the wrong shop. It's marvellous. It's great, isn't it?
So much more room, isn't it, than there was before, yeah.
But I'm about to learn that some of the veterans, like 89-year-old Irene, aren't so easily won over.
Well, I like the shop, but I prefer a bit more from her toys.
I know, but this is the whole reason. It's new, and we've got to give it a go.
Wow. How are you girls? Oh, it's the toy.
Oh, toys.
The toy.
Are these not the ladies from the League of Gentlemen? We can't take it if it ain't got a special mark on it. It's got a special mark. Can't take it if it ain't got a special mark. You'll kill a kiddie with that. You ain't got a special mark.
Toy duo. The toy twins.
Toy twins.
You marking up your toys?
Most stuff outside will get ransacked by locals. Good point, yeah. So, yeah, they need a proper system for that. Right, and if people are going to be good enough to donate decent clothes to the charity shop, would they not be good enough just to come in while it's open and hand them over? You know, get a little receipt for that. Whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, in some way, just have some accountability for the donation. Would they not? Like, some of those, like, looks like out the back there, they've got a nice coat. Like, you know, some of this stuff. Like, I think it'd be okay to just maybe step up the sort of, like, safety standards on that.
Yes.
Soft toys do not sell. They won't take them here. That's another thing. That lady's got that emotional attachment to her toy section, hasn't she? And like, it's for the kids, and like, maybe it's an important thing. But you're right. Like, you know, certain soft toys. Like, nowadays I used to buy furniture from the tip shop and from other places. And since the bedbug heat wave we had this year or whatever, it was in the news, wasn't it? There's some bedbugs around. And I know I've heard about bedbugs. You can get them in old furniture, and I just think, like, do they vet that furniture carefully before they sell it, or am I opening myself up to bedbugs on that? The hospice has got a furniture shop, and I'm sure they do a good job vetting that. But like, yeah, soft toys are probably in that ballpark. I remember once we bought a because we used to do this from the tip shop. Is we used to buy big monkeys and stuff for the dog. They used to have a load of big soft toys out as you drive out past the tip, like on the outside, just left outside to rot. Like, hey, look at all those soft toys for the kids. But yeah, the this big monkey we bought for the dog. So we did give it the dog. So, you know, fair enough, right? Give it the dog, and like, the dog's carrying it around and messing about with this big monkey. And like, I don't know if it's because it's from the tip or because we gave it the dog, but a few, like, maybe a couple of weeks later, I was like, what's going on with this? And it had maggots in it. I was like, this doesn't look right, what the dog's got here. It'd probably been outside or something, but it had maggots in it. And I was like, I'm taking that off immediately. That's going in the bin. I don't think the maggots come from the tip, but I always associated the fact that the soft toys might... I didn't think to myself, like, anything could be on these soft toys. But yeah, certain items I probably don't want from second hand unless I'm certain about, like, safety and cleanliness. What I like actually, being a bit sad, is I like glass. There's no purpose to it. I don't buy a lot of it because what am I going to do with a load of glass? But I do like going to old shops and finding glass, especially at the tip shop. They have a range of glass, and there's a space that you can find some quite nice, like, if you know what you're looking for. You might get a diamond in the rough. You know, you could maybe get an old glass, like a bit of antique glass. And I quite like the idea with glass that it's been handled, and like actual stuff that where someone blows the glass. Like, there's a lot of art to it. It happens, like, you know, in a space in time. And like, I just think glass design and blowing glass and all sorts of stuff like that involving glass. I like glass, but again, it's like one of those things like the toys, the bric-a-brac. Like, it's not going to be popular in the charity shop, is it? No one's looking to buy a load of old glasses, but.
What do you think's your new toy?
It's interesting, isn't it, as well? Because toys are popular. Kids play with them. People have kids. They donate a lot of toys. But if they don't sell like, at the end of the day, this is a shop to service the community and what the market wants most from this shop. So kids might want toys, but parents might choose to buy the toys first hand more often because they're relatively cheap and quite abundant. So maybe there's not such a market for the second hand ones as people think. So maybe they get overloaded with them because there might be more coming in than they can sell. Like certainly if you've got a lot of coming in, that's an indication that there's a lot on the market that people don't want to keep in their homes. So they're going to come and buy more, are they? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
area. No, I think it's quite nice.
you can claim gift aid tax relief if you donated and you're a taxpayer. Oh shit, right, you know when I claim gift aid, that's giving, every time I do it on the internet, that gives the charity a bit more money. Am I supposed to get some tax relief back from that? Because I didn't pay any tax. What I mean is, I didn't pay any tax. Because I didn't pay any tax on the charity donations. What I mean is, when I did the tax thing at the end of the year, all my charity donations, I didn't write them off against my business. Like, I didn't try and, tax relief them. I put them in my, I suppose I did, what I mean to say is I did pay tax on them, because they went into what I lost by spending my personal spending pocket section. So I don't know if I ended up getting taxed on that or not, but like, that's probably the bit I do. I'm not so clever at this, but I write it all in properly, and then they tell me what I have to do. You add it up and claim it back. Right. Just the gift aid bit, or all of it? There's a section on my self-assessment. I did my self-assessment as sole trader. I need to check through that better, because I've given a bit of a chunk, and I'm not that clever at it.
No good. Irene's a bit concerned.
I'd always veer on the side of, like, I'm not going to try and sneak around and, like, if I was worried about it, because it happened in January, didn't I? I can't remember now, but like, if I was worried about it, I'm not going to put, oh yeah, I didn't, cheat them. I'd rather give them a little bit more, like, soak up a little bit more cost and think, well, I paid a little bit more tax than trying to skank it and getting in trouble, because they'll fuck you over right bad, won't they? I've been running a business for years, so it's never been a problem to, like, just do the books properly. So,
well, we haven't got as much.
If you're just about, okay, it's that sort of thing, yeah. I'm not in that, like, ballpark of needing to worry if I'm about to go into the next tax band, I'll tell you that.
Top shelf, which I can hardly reach. And
one of those good problems, huh?
Oven and things. Just one shelf now.
Come and have a look with me and tell me that, Irene. I thought this is a really strong toy area. Look, we've even got the old albums and made
I'm not,
it look
like I said, I'm not even trying to sort of balance the books in that way. All I'm trying to do is just make sure I tell them the right things so they don't fuck me over. So if I was worried about it, I would have said, well, it's my spending, I'll just deal with it, rather than trying to claim it as a thing and getting it in the wrong box and then having trouble. We'll look into it for next year.
like, old chitty bang bang.
Yes.
But I haven't passed the ironing test, have I?
No.
Out the back and the stockroom still a tip, as Nick still hasn't got it sorted.
Nick, this table is just rubbish, because I don't get what is meant to be done on here.
No, it is literally rubbish.
Is it?
Mostly, yeah.
But why would we have a rubbish table? Don't we got a system for rubbish?
It's not. It was a clear table, and people dump things on it, so that's what happens.
They're going to have to keep this neat, Nick. You're going to have to be strong.
Absolutely.
No, just say, look, don't put stuff on there and catch them, because we only cleared it yesterday. Do you know what? I haven't worked Nick out yet. This is not a system. This still needs sorting. I'm going to give him another few days on this and see what I come back to.
It's rubbish.
My retail
rubbish, that
consultancy,
Nick.
I'm getting my first look at the accounts for my shop. I mean, I'm looking at the takings in detail, and they are diabolical. I mean, they're rubbish. Out of Nick's area, the Orpington shop is at the bottom anyway, practically the bottom. It's bad. It's bad. I've not only got to get them from the bottom, I've got to get them to actually behave and make...
Bear in mind, this is partly for the edit. They'll say, tell us about how bad it is and how you're going to turn it around, because that's the whole premise, isn't it? They're going to be the worst, and now you're going to make them the best. So you might as well say how bad they are at this juncture, like really drive it home.
Make a bit more money and understand how to sell. I've got to find a way to turn my army of inexperienced volunteers into a sales force to be reckoned with.
I really don't know how this goes in.
Until now, they've been left to their own devices, and I think charities have been missing a big trick. I'm hoping if I can give them more responsibility for making money, then they'll deliver. do you know per head how much each of you take a week in?
30?
30 would be good. 30 would be great, Iris. You're taking £12.50.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
For every member of staff here?
£12.50. Now remember the model? They wouldn't get out of bed for less than 10,000. You lot are getting out for £12.50.
A week.
That's tough, isn't it? Do you, when you really think of it, that
Individually, a week, £12.50. That's your, like, that's the money that comes in from them. Individually. So that's like your workforce times 12 equate. They said there was, I think there's 40 in the work. I don't think that's everyone there. I think that there's 40 in the workforce. So I think it's 40 times 12. Alexa, what's 40 times 12?
40 times 12 is 480.
For £500 a week. It's not enough. Nowhere near enough. I was looking to try and take £500 a day as a hairdresser. Like, it's insane to be trying to take £500 a week and run a business on a high street. No wonder they're volunteers. They couldn't afford to staff it. And like what it says to them as well is all that hard work they've done. Like, this is real hard for these ladies. Yeah, their faces. Yeah, their faces. It's hard for them because all that hard work they do. Is it worth it? Like, you could probably go out with a tin and shake the tin for £10 a day. Just, you know, you'd probably make more money out on the street shaking the tin for the charity than you would working in the charity shop. And they put all that effort in, and it's such this whole big thing, and there's a property, and there's all these items, and there's a load of people, and like, but between them they could probably just get two of them to go and walk around with charity tins and make more money for the business. So it's insanity, and it's not because the charity's bad or anything like that, or the people are bad. It's that one man who's the manager who has no idea about his business and how it's operating, because he's in charge of all those things. Mary's sort of taken over his job for the week, hasn't she? Like, it's insane that he would allow his business to operate like this.
way. That's how much you're getting out of bed. So we're going to go down to the market.
I don't like the market.
Oh, Brenda, don't worry, love. I'll give you a cup of tea.
Literally the market as well, which is what I love about this. It's this juxtaposition. Like Mary Queen of Shops, when she was doing other shops, like Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, it's we're in the market, we need to fight in the market. With this, they're in the market, but they're not, are they? They're a charity shop, and it's this very strange borderline between market forces and, I don't know what you'd call it, ethical. Is it ethical? I don't know what it is. The charity shop force that's not market forces, but there's something else going on there, isn't it? Ethical, isn't it? Yeah. But they're running a shop. Like, they don't have, like, a charity doesn't have to have a shop attached to it. Like, a shop is a thing within the market. A charity is also a thing that exists within a market, I suppose, but in a free market it wouldn't exist. It would be insanity. You're just giving your money away, aren't you? So it's insanity in a free market, which is why free markets don't work. Like, free markets, you wouldn't have street lights, you wouldn't have, I've said this a million times, but like, there's so many things you wouldn't have in a free market. So like, they just simply don't work. They need regulation, and we also need spaces to be filled by this sort of stuff. I can't even remember what, like, it's late now. I can't think if there's a word for it. There must be a word, like an economic term. Or does Keynes not factor this in? Running a business not for a profit. Non-profit making venture, you'd probably say, but I'm thinking of something I could have learned in economics as like a principle. But like there's all names for all different things, like Veblen goods or Geffing goods. I don't know what this whole setup counts as. Maybe someone's just done a case study on it at some point, and I'd have to investigate. Just quickly. Keynesian economics of running a charity shop. I mean, theoretically, it shouldn't exist, shouldn't it, in Keynes? So, or should it? Keynesian economics of running a charity shop. The failure of Keynesian economics. Is there a sort of... Like, I would think the Keynesian economics of running a charity shop would be like the name of an essay or a book. But I'm not seeing that. I'm just seeing a load of adverts and stuff. Weird that is. Did I misspell Keynes? Hang on. Keynesian altruism. That's from the Effective Altruism Forum. Yeah, maybe it just doesn't go together, does it? So it just doesn't... No one's been writing about it. Philanthropy and global economy. Keynesian theory of the multiplier. What are they talking about? Don't know what the fuck this is. I'm not looking at this. This is too much now. I'll leave that open in another window. I might come back to it, but yeah, carry on.
I feel like the school teacher. Come on, are we all together now? If Brenda...
I think I remember a lot of it. I mean, working out the price elasticity of demand might be a little bit off the cuff, a little bit tricky for me, but I used to know how to do it. It was a bit dry when I learned it, and I think there were some topics that when we got onto gilts and bonds and stuff like that, I started to get a bit like bored, but like I still learned it. I still think I would, like, and with a quick prepper refresher, I think it'd all be in there somewhere.
And the gang are going to boost sales. They can no longer just turn up for work.
And then when I got to uni as well, I was kind of disappointed that the first year of uni seemed to be like a quick refresher of the last year of the A-level, to be honest. Like,
just like any great sales assistants, they need to be motivated to sell. As there's nothing exciting to flog in the shop, I've hired a market stall, brought 400 designer cupcakes, and my gang have half a day to shift them.
Are they real? They are real.
They're not real, are they?
They are real.
These are the favourite cakes of Madonna and Kate Moss.
I wouldn't buy anything like that. You don't know where they've been made, and they're out in the dust. Nothing covered up, are they?
Okay, well, do you know what, darling? We do know where they've been made. You're going to have to believe in this, my darling, because you are going to have to sell these. Yes?
Yes.
Now it's time to see what my grey army is made of.
Please buy a cake. Please buy a cake. Please buy a cake.
Depressed of all symptoms. Behind the counter. You want a bigger voice? Come on, Graham, you've got something.
£1.50 each. It's the best bargain today here.
It's so interesting because you start to see the different characters. So this is where you really start to understand the people who are going to come to the front and really energise and deliver your business.
And already one of my milder-mannered volunteers is showing real potential.
Which one would you like? There's the one with that big spider on there, look. Oh, that big spider. These children, they love cake.
Careful of the nonce. I'm not saying he's a nonce. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. He's a nice man. I don't know. It's a telly programme. I just made a funny joke because of all the stuff we talk about on the streams.
It's the thing they really enjoy. And their mums don't mind.
Just like Madonna and Kate Moss, not covered up.
Ain't for them, do they? Come on, look at that happy child.
Oh, the child's eating one.
Definitely impressed with the attitude of Graham. Unbelievable.
More? No.
I love Graham's ability to sell more than one, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I like
Not
it, Graham.
not
You've
allowed
got
to
the
buy
tactic.
one.
Not just
You're not
one.
allowed to buy just
sure
one.
You don't want more. Oh, and you might have a friend coming around for tea.
Somebody bought 9 earlier on, I think.
Whilst ex-football coach Graham has
See, Graham seems nice.
hit his stride, one of my ladies is doing anything
Ex-football coach. She looks like a monk. She looks like a red monk.
to avoid making a sale.
Brenda, what are you doing with that belt?
I don't know.
Time is of the essence. Get on that stool. Have you ever gone outside your comfort zone, Brenda?
Yes, I have, yeah.
Have you? When was that, darling?
Oh, I can't remember now.
Come on, I bet it was something. You know, when you felt times think, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this. I feel like every time I come to do a shop. I can't imagine what I felt like when I came to do this one.
I tell you what, we've got no gloves. We've got no gloves, we've got no tongs to pick them up.
Well, look, you thought I'll show you this. Come on. Brenda's not taking part. She's just turned away and kind of like, is slightly embarrassed about it. It's every issue. They're not undercover. Where are the gloves? You've got gloves. Moan, moan, moan. So you finding this tough? No. You don't like it that much, though. Why don't you like it?
She looks like Paulie's mum from The Sopranos.
Do you prefer being backroom than out the front? You're quite shy deep down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, are you a shy?
And she's got a very, like, coiffed, again, rollered, coiffed hair set, you know, the full wet set.
Little shrinking violet. Hey, Brenda, next person approaching is me and you. Come on. Brenda, tell her whose favourite cakes they are. You don't want to do it? No. These are favoured by Madonna and Kate Moss, these cakes.
Can I have that one, please? And one of these.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Thank you. If Brenda doesn't overcome her nerves, she'll stay hiding in that back room forever. I think she's a bit embarrassed, so I've sent everyone for lunch while she gives it a go.
What one do you want? That one.
Has he seen? And a coffee one, please. There's another one, Brenda. You can't help it now. Too cute. He wants the little blue one. Oh, the little blue one. That's lovely. His little face.
Stuff it in her face.
10 minutes. How much do you reckon you've taken?
I reckon that's, what, £20? Yeah.
Fantastic.
Probably.
Fantastic.
And what that proves is they'd be better off selling cakes at the market than running a charity shop. Although we don't know what the negatives are because we don't know what the costs of these cakes are, but she's taken 20 quid.
You feel then?
In 10 minutes.
Shaking with joy or shaking?
And it's your fault. You told them to go.
Once they start to see people buying it, just gives them confidence. That's what it's about. That's what selling is about. Today proves that expecting more from my volunteers than standing behind a till is definitely the way forward.
I only called you darling.
I know. By the end of the day, we've taken over £550.
Good. I'm going to skip. I mean, I'm not skipping much, but I just want to move it on in the in-betweeny bits between the two scenes because just let's get it moving a bit.
Big issues that we have in the shop is really trying to get very good merchandise in here. And I have this feeling that every time we give a kind of bin liner out, people in their head automatically associate filling a bin liner with rubbish. They can't move that from their heads. You know, you see a bin liner, and I think they think, oh, great, time to clear out, as opposed to time to give. So I came up with this little idea. Whether it's going to work or not, I don't know, but we're going to give it a try because what I loved about you guys is you give it a try. We know the cake sale. We gave it a try and we made money. And so I feel energised that I've got the team that will give it a try. What I want to do today is I want to knock on the doors with my team of people, which are you guys. Brenda, get back here, get back.
You see how really good Mary is, right? It just goes under the radar.
I loved it.
Like, you know how Alan likes to do all these like sneaky things to get people to do things like manipulation. This is actually manipulation, but in a positive sort of team leadery way. Look,
we have in the shop is really trying to get very good merchandise.
This is the problem that I'm going to fix and that we're going to deal with. This is clearly clear, like what's the word? Clear communication.
In here, and I have this feeling that every time we give a kind of bin liner out, people in their head automatically associate filling a bin liner with rubbish. I can't
really great concept. I totally agree with her. I think she's spotted something
move
there.
that from their heads. You know, you see a bin liner, and I think they think, oh, great, time to clear out.
And we're thinking about what the customers are thinking, what the people who bring the things. No, we're not thinking about what I think or what the, my favourite thing should go on the shelf is. We're thinking, what are these people like that are coming in and using our business?
As opposed to time to give. So I came up with this little idea.
I came up with an idea that I'm going to now make you do, right? So
whether it's going to work or not, I don't know. But
I'm giving it, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm the boss here and I'm just going to tell you it's absolutely fact and this is brilliant. I'm great. It might not work. I'm opening up the possibility it might not work. And if it doesn't, that's fine. But I'd like to try this. So fair, but also not setting this up as some sort of like, I know better than you and I'm the best and I'm brilliant and but giving it the option, I don't know.
We're going to give it a try because what I loved about you...
We're going to give it a try because this is something I think you're good at. I'm going to give you compliments and tell you, and it's based on what we just did yesterday, so she's got a specific example in mind.
Guys, as you give it a try. We know the cake sale. We gave it a try and we made money. And so I feel energised that I've got the team that will give it a try.
I feel energised, and she literally raised her energy in her voice, energised that I've got the team who will give it a try. And she said like that, energised you that it's you are good at this, and like, I've got the good team that's going to get like. So she's like sold the concept to them here as well, hasn't she? There's many different ways of talking to the team, aren't there? But this is, I think she's done, like, she's not done that by mistake. Like, she's thought about how she said that and the way she said that to them to try and get them all on board. And we're going to try this new idea.
What I want to do today is I want to knock on the doors with my team of people, which are you guys. Brenda, get back here! Get back here! What I want to do is we're going to go around and we're going to go to some of those houses that look rather nice, that are around Orpington, and we are going to knock on the door, and I am going to talk to them, and you are going to talk to them, and we are going to ask them to give 1 or 2 things that they genuinely feel has a resale value. You're smiling, Graham.
Yeah, trepidation, I think's the word that comes to my mind. Is that a big word for a Wednesday morning? Trepidation.
So, I've got these little tags because I get lost. No, not in case you.
Let's get tagged.
They're all having fun and a laugh, but she's thought it through. She's got the items, she's got the tag, she's not like, I've had an idea, maybe this, let's try it out, see if it works. She knows what the plan is, the structure and the idea, and bit by bit she's showing them each piece and just making sure they're understanding the first bit before they understand the next bit, and then we're going to go through the whole thing. And it's not like, let's hope this works. I think she knows what she's doing here, so like she's trying to take them through a process rather than, I've got a plan, I've half-arsed it, sketched it on the back of a fag packet, maybe we're going to need some tags I didn't realise until we're out. Oh no, like she's got this like solid, like, so it's almost like she's taking them through a process, like teaching them something, and she kind of is, isn't she, obviously, but teaching them something step by step rather than throwing it all at them and saying this is how we do the new thing and it's going to be better. And like the way she's tried to engage them in the process, I think she's such a great leader. I think she's really good.
I want them to take this tag.
I hope she's like politically not like, I'm saying good things about Mary Portas. I don't know that much about her behind the scenes, obviously, so I hope she's not like, you know, I'm giving her the tacit seal of, I love giving people the seal of approval and they turn out to do something. Like, I hope she's not like a J.K. Rowling behind the scenes or something.
And on one side, write what they've given, and then on the back with love and their name. If we get 15, 20 things that genuinely have a value, that's a lot better than the dump that we've got out the back today. Brenda, who's getting excited because she's got to knock on doors.
Yeah, but listen, you're not supposed to open the doors to strangers.
Despite Brenda's reservations, I...
Hear her? Yeah, but listen, you're not supposed to open the door to strangers. Any fucking plan, she's got a negative... So that's nice to hear because she'll think up all the little problems that could go along and then you can solve them along the way and get on with it. But every single thing, she's got some sort of reason why it's bad. Like, eventually you don't listen to that all the time to hold you back, because if you listen to that hold you back, then you never do anything.
I'm trusting that the locals...
Is she Katie Hopkins? She's not, is she? She's not a big fan of that sort of nonsense, is she?
...will be more open to our plight. I want to give this a really good chance of working, so we're going to spend the whole day pounding the streets of Orpington until all of my tags have been handed over.
Good for the exercise, ladies.
Yeah. Well, it is really going out onto the unknown. It's a bit of excitement. Let's hope it will work.
Whilst I work with Rita, Graham's with Brenda, which means he's going to have to be brave enough for both of them.
I don't want to do it. No, I don't want to.
I'll back you up. You don't want to do it?
No, I don't want to do it. Oh, yeah.
Good afternoon. We're asking people to donate a couple of things to the shop.
I've only just been round there and talked some stuff.
Have you, right?
Oh, have you? I'm not doing any of the starting, but I say goodbye to him.
Hello.
Hello.
Can I have you for just 2 minutes?
No, I'm sorry.
Save the
I'm in the middle of
children.
my lunch. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. Thank you.
So if this shit happened to me, obviously I work from home and I do this nonsense on the internet. So if these ladies knocked on my door, I'd say, do you want to come in? No, I'm all right. I'm not going to mug you. Come in and have a look in my wardrobe. What do you think would be good? That's a bit too expensive. I can't give you that. That's silly. No, I mean these clothes over here. Like, yeah, no, you know, I'd pick out a few things and I'd have fun with talking to them. Do you want a cup of tea? They probably don't want to come into everyone's house, do they? But I go and I grab a few coats and stuff and just be like, I'm sure I could find something that you know. That'd actually be a fun breakup of my day. I like that sort of shit.
What's the time?
11:30 lunch.
Trying to get people interested isn't as easy as I'd imagined.
What's no mean? No? It's nice. Show Save the Children got a thumbs down.
It might be a book you've had.
A bit of audacity. The Jehovah's Witnesses don't come back to my house anymore because I invite them in too much. And the last time I read them a section from the Quran. Since then they didn't come back. This is a funny story, it's true though. My friend Greg loves it. Is they came in and I said, okay, you know, fair enough, nice old lady and like nice man. Reading the thing about God. Do you want a cup of tea? They didn't want it, but I had mine. And they sat there and read the thing about the Bible. And I'm like, this is good, it's cool. It's nice to have a little reading. It's nice. And I said, after that, I was like, I could do you a little reading. And they were like, okay. And I got the Quran down, because I've got that. And I did a passage out of that. Because it's like, you know, a bit of this, bit of that. And then they heard it. And then they left. It wasn't a special, I didn't like pick a reading to offend them or anything. I just thought a bit of that. And then it's like listening to records, isn't it? You just brought your records round, and this is one of... They didn't come back after that anyway. They brought a Jesus leaflet the other day and put one through the letterbox, but like, they haven't really come and knocked the door and had a chat.
Yeah, you really book you like, or...
Oh, no, I don't want to.
But my volunteers are a resilient lot, and there's no shortage of doors to knock on.
There's a big dog in that one.
Dog.
Yeah, I'd run off from the big dog as well, but I'll tell you what, how have these houses, between these... Like, they've been up and down a bunch of houses here, and how come they're not carrying anything? How are these houses not... Between all these bunch of houses, they haven't got like a jacket or a pair of trousers they don't wear? Like, what's going on?
Bark.
There's a big dog in that one.
6 days left.
What we're doing is this little campaign called Given with
We're
Love.
asking people to donate things to the shop.
We're hopeful of getting much more nicer stuff into our shops.
I do think, God, they're amazing. Just look at them, they're amazing.
What we're doing, we've got this promotion going on.
These guys, this is what they do.
Right, I misunderstood. I thought they were supposed to go away with the coat. They're giving the tag, and then you tag these items in your home and write the tag, and that's... When you give someone a plastic bag, it looks like a bin bag. They think put rubbish in. But if you give them paper tags with like price tags, they think, oh, nice item. Tag it up, then bag it and take it. And then it gives them that sense of, I'm creating an item for a shop, not I'm putting something in a bag. So they don't have to go away with the coats. So they don't actually have to achieve anything other than handing over the tags. So the tags could go through the letterbox, but they want to explain it and sell the concept. So all you have to do is have a chat with people at the door. Again, I'm quite civil to people at the door. Like, I don't know why these people are like just not answering, no fuck off. Like, it's alright to have a little chat for 5 minutes. I mean, you might be busy, but you can't be that busy, can you, really?
All the time, we're just talking with Rita. She just goes around and does everything for charity.
Okay, thank you.
The worst one I feel is when the charity people come around with the sign-up sheet. And I'm like, we do it on the internet these days, you know? Like, I'm not going to sign up on your clipboard. Like... You want my details and I'll write them down? No. I'm going to do that on the internet, thank you. I agree with all your charity stuff and I'll have a chat to them about the charity, but I'm not going to sign anything on a clipboard, no.
Thank you, Norman.
Thanks ever so much.
And we're just wondering whether you'd be an angel.
It makes you think, my God, all those hours that you put in sometimes on stuff that just benefit yourself, you know? And these people are real givers.
Although we've been trawling the streets all day, Graham is going to help me with one final push. We're going to try and catch people returning home from work.
Should we carry on down here to the end?
It's late and I'm feeling bold.
Want to come in right now?
Yeah, why not?
Really? You can come in.
Come on, then you'll be on. We'll do 1 minute.
For this to succeed, I need people to hand over those things that they've squirreled away and they know they'll never use.
Right, Mummy, what have we got from you?
Oh,
What about that red dress, Mummy?
Yeah, what about your best red dress, Mummy?
I tell you what, I will donate.
Maybe your best skirt. Your high heel silver shoes?
Yeah.
Oh, she's amazing. Does she know? Oh, bless you.
Mummy,
Wow.
how are you going to put something on them?
Wow, brand new.
Worn ones.
And you've never worn them.
They weren't really good dancing shoes for me, so that's why I...
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I think I'm onto something. If everyone we've seen today brings in a gift like this, I'll have it.
I'm glad I'm muted. I said, Mummy, what about that black dress that Daddy makes you wear? The one with the mask and the special hat. Mummy, what about the handcuffs? You and Daddy don't use those anymore.
Cracked. What I'm just trying to show the team today is it can be done, and less with quality is better than those old bin bags of tut. One person who really...
To the people in town with the clipboards, right? I think, do they get a living wage? Like, I don't know who gets the job. I've never gone for the job of that. I don't know what the system is, but do they get paid by the hour just to walk around? Or are they on commission? Or what? I feel bad for them because like it feels like they've given up their time to help a charity. Maybe they're volunteers, so maybe there's no hourly rate at all. Maybe they don't even get paid by the commission or nothing. But I feel bad that they've given up their time to do a charity thing, and I'm just saying, no, fuck off. But there's no way I'm signing up on a clipboard. I'd rather give them £10 and watch them put it in the box than I would sign up on a clipboard. I just don't want... Like, they're just wandering around with a clipboard. I want to write all my details down on it then, shall I? What, my bank details as well, shall I? Like, no way. Like, it's just... There's no way.
really got behind this today is Graham. He trawled the streets from dawn to...
I don't know what the deal is, though, because, like, obviously everyone has your bank details, don't they? Like, for, like, payments and things and like that. But, like, it just feels well wrong. Like, I don't know what they'd take details they'd want. And then it's just someone on a clipboard, and they leave that clipboard on the train or something, and that's great, isn't it? Now everything's ruined in my life because I got done and hacked. Like, just direct debit. Well, I don't even know how that works. So, like, I've never had a direct debit. Literally never had one. They offered me them at different times, and I've always said no. I'd like to know when and what's going on. So, it might be a bit stupid, but I can't be asked with like setting things up for people to automatically remove money from my bank account. It's easier if I never do that, then I know no one's ever removing any automatically, and I'll know when I have to remove it.
till dusk, and I want to treat him to a well-deserved pint.
So I don't know anything about you, Graham.
You don't know anything about me?
I don't know. I would admit I'd offer them cash to make them leave if you want, but I don't want them to leave. I want them to stay and have a nice chat. Sometimes they're pretties. They're pretties and they're working for a charity. I want them to stay and have a chat. If it's just a boy, I'm not some boy. Oxfam aren't getting their money today, lad. Away with you. But send the prettiest one. Oh, would you like to chat about the charity? Oh, I would chat about the charity. Tell me about your lovely charity, you chatty chatty. Chatty charity chatty. Chatty charity Kathy. Chatty Kathy. Chatty Kathy at the charity. Tell me all about the charity. I like the way you've done your hair, Chatty Kathy. Would you like to come in? I might sign up if you come in. I'm doing tea in the kitchen. Come on in. They never come in. They never come in.
What made you think, right, I'm going to go and do charity work?
Someone asked you if they wanted to come in. Hello, Chatty Kathy. Hello, Chatty Kathy. Bloody hell. Oh yeah, definitely say no to that. I mean, I can... If it's me and Chatty Kathy, then I'm trying to get... It's a strange system. Making tea in Bob's basement. How many spoons of sugar do you want? And how many spoons of right hypnol?
I think it was sheer boredom. Sheer boredom, not having enough to do during the day. Having worked full-time in teaching, having worked at Charlton where it was always busy.
See, he's not a nonce, he's great, he's cool, he's all right. I was joking earlier. It was just a joke because of Alan.
He's been in and out the training ground doing things. Had a spell where I wasn't doing very much at all.
So when you finished at Charlton, how long ago? 2 years ago?
But yeah, 2 years and a little bit of problem with a middle ear problem, so that kept me out for a while.
Wasn't there a football coach from like Man City or something that was done for being a nonce?
I've just got the, as you know, the tinnitus. So that's
like one that coached all the young kids. Don't get me into that. This isn't the episode for that, is it? Apparently, Bob gets laid so much compared to you. I don't know if that's true what he's saying, but we're gonna go into it on Easter. Dover and Dolly's mum's probably got the playlist somewhere. She's probably putting the playlist together. In fact, that's a good idea. I should get her to put together the playlist. It's really easy. You just click the buttons. So
another thing for doing the shop. does keep you busy. The retail trade does interest me, I must admit, it does interest me. I mean, I think I was asked originally whether I saw it as a stepping stone into the retail trade. Initially, no, I didn't. It was just purely something to do during the day.
But it is a retail trade.
Yes.
That's the thing, and that's the thing that we need to get it to.
That's incredible, isn't it? They took this guy on, hired him, yeah? He's a volunteer, so you're going to hire most of them, I suppose, but he's got lots of positives. You just heard him speaking, you know, he's got lots of positives. He was good at the market stall thing, you know, and all this. She sees him she sees him as an asset. So not only does she want to make sure that he's understood, like she's listening to him and like value, you know, like the guy wanted, you know, the guy in the workplace wanted to listen to everyone all at the same time in that staff meeting. Like, she wants to listen to him because he's proved himself as an asset, and she wants to show him that he's valued, and she's listening to his ideas, yeah? And also to get his ideas, because he's on the floor doing it. She's also aware that he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about with some things. Like, he said, they asked me if I considered it a stepping stone into the retail trade, and he's like, no, I didn't, because I don't really want to be. And she's like, you are in the retail trade. It is the retail trade. It's not a stepping stone to the retail trade that you didn't want to take. You are in the retail trade, and it's not a stepping stone to it. It is the retail. Like, that's incredible, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. The way they conceptualise things differently. And also for the manager, I feel like it's hard to say no to a volunteer like this guy who, you know, has lots of qualities. But also, if you filled in the form and said, I don't see this as a stepping stone to the retail trade, I'm not interested in being in the retail trade, then, like, what are you doing coming to work at my shop? This is the retail trade. It's like if we had a charity train company and I needed train drivers, and someone turned up and said, I have no interest in driving trains. I'd be like, well, what are you volunteering for? You're not going to enjoy this much.
That's what the goal is. We need that shop to behave like a professional retailer. Yeah. Would that be something that would excite you to learn about that?
Yes, it would.
That's true, actually. Graham would be better suited for the other guy's job, wouldn't he? Yeah. Is that the other guy called Nick? Yeah. Graham would probably do better at Nick's job in many ways. But, you know, this is the world, isn't it? It's not literally that everyone who is in the right job in the right order, is it?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. I mean, I obviously haven't got great experience at the moment.
Have you never thought, God, I'd like to manage this, because it needs a manager?
She's already spotted it.
I mean, haven't you ever thought about that?
Yes, it has gone through my mind. I mean, I'd like to think my man management is pretty good.
Yeah.
There is one issue with this, is that I can see why she's picking him. He's shown himself to be capable. He's maybe slightly younger than some of the ladies that are there, and a bit more, you know, switched on. But also, he's the only man as well. So, like, patriarchy or no, like, you know, fair dues, he's stepped up and all that. But it's a bit weird, isn't it, to go into that? I mean, she's a woman, so I'm not saying this is patriarchy, but she's picked out the only man, and he's going to now be the manager. And he's like, my man management isn't that good. Well, they're not men, they're women.
The other things I've done, I'm pretty good with people. I think I'm, you know...
Whether his man management is good. Like.
I can communicate well with most people.
I've really been impressed with
And he changed it to people there, because he realised quickly what he said.
You've got a wonderful style about you, Graham. You really have.
Oh, I would be giving her a kissy at this point. I'd be scooching over. A wonderful style, you say? What's this you said about a kissy? I didn't say anything about a kissy. Oh, so kissy it is then. I didn't say anything. You didn't say there wasn't going to be a kissy. Until you tell me no kissy. Kissy's still on the menu, I think, isn't it?
Really
That's very kind of you.
Well, you have.
Well, what she was saying there, I you know, it was good for me, I think, to hear that. And good for me for her.
I'll tell you something else. I keep pausing it now, but this is incredible to me. I'm so used to seeing it, the British pub, but now that I've removed myself from the consumption of alcohol for nearly 10 years, seeing that stocked bar with all those spirits lined up like that and all this and all the different beers and things, and like, it's so common just to go and sit in a room where you imbibe alcohol. Like those bottles of spirits, if you drank one of them whole, you'd be fucked up, like quite drunk. I could probably drink one of those and a load of beer as well, like 8 beers in one of those. That would be me for the night, complete. I'd probably go to bed after that, but no, I wouldn't die, but I'd be fucking drunk. And that's the plan when I go in there. Used to be. It's weird to see it all like that now. It looks kind of fucking weird. It's like just like a sort of mad poison shop or something. Like everyone, like it's not like a restaurant where you eat foods. Like you're just constantly drinking drinks. It's like if you went to a smoothie shop, you buy one smoothie and you leave, don't you? Yeah. Or if you go to like a juice bar, like you go in and I'll have the orange juice, thanks, and you buy it and you leave. But if you go in here, you've got one alcoholic drink and then you drink it. Another one, please, and then you drink it. I'll have a third, thank you. What about another round? 4, thank you, yeah, okay. Now I'll buy one for you because you bought a round for me, that's 5. And then, okay, I'm starting to feel a bit drunk here. I might need to go and smoke a reefer. Just go outside for a bit and smoke. This is me, this is my evening. Go for a piss, smoke a reefer, put some money in the jukebox. Okay, there's another pint when I get back. So that's 6. Like, the last 2 go down pretty quick. You don't even notice it while you're playing pool. And then it's on to the spirits because you're back at home, bedtime, and you want to make sure you get drunk for bed. Like, that's what I used to do. Like, it's incredible to see it like this now from a step back where I wouldn't consider drinking any of it. No, thank you. And how much of it there is and how many sort of slightly different varieties, all stacked up, all like that charity shop. All like piled up like that behind them, and you expect it when you go in a bar. What if they don't have a Malibu or a Jameson or actually I know the brands and all that as well. There's that Bell's, or it might be Grey Goose. That's Smirnoff, obviously. Jack Daniels, like you expect to see all these things, don't you? Well stocked bar.
To boost my confidence a little bit, what she said.
I pick up a drink, and the drink picks up a drink, and the drink picks up me.
It's been 2 weeks since I took on my charity shop, and I'm feeling buoyed by the volunteers' enthusiasm. I'm dropping in to see if this newfound energy is having any effect at the shop.
I think I understand that, but it's a bit of a riddle, that one. I pick up a drink, the drink picks up a drink, the drink picks up me. But yeah, I find that if I have one, then I make bad decisions. That was kicking the habit, stopping it, involved not ever having the first one. Like having one here and there, that wasn't going to work for me. If I had one beer, I'd fancy the second one. And after I've had 2 beers, like I just described the process, like, I'm on to the third, and it's like, it's very difficult to just say that's an end to it. I feel like I've had just enough there. Like, the alcohol in itself would call me to want more and like to not end it. So, like, the evening, I mean. So, like, yeah, I found it much easier to make the easy choice of don't want the first. It was a hard choice because like part of me was calling for it, but the easy choice of not doing, like, while I'm mentally compos mentis, making a decision rather than getting drunk a little bit and then trying to make a decision when I'm a little bit drunk and then getting drunk a bit more, and then later on you have harder decisions because now it's later and like you've already had a few beers, so you might as well stay out and make a full night of it, huh? And like, those sort of conversations go on like when you're even more drunk, so it's even harder to make those decisions. Yeah, it's messed up. Hair of the dog doesn't help, although like when I was hairdressing I wouldn't turn up and drink a beer for work to start the day because like that cycle of like that, I would have considered myself an alcoholic at that point if I'd done that. And even though I would say what I'm describing is a sort of alcoholism, like a level of alcoholism, I'd say, like, for sure. I mean, I'm not afraid to say I would have considered myself to be alcoholic, but the sort of, when you say it in public like that, people think that you're talking about park bench, bottle of vodka, wet pants sort of alcoholic, or like I say, drinking before work to get through the day. I wasn't at that level, but the amount I consumed, and one of the things that I learned was that if you're waiting for the weekend, or in my case, the end of the day, so that you could get drunk, if you're waiting for that and, okay, you're managing to get through, but then you're, inevitably getting drunk, then I think I was on that tip, so yeah. I made that choice. It was a good choice. Yeah, the hair of the dog. Well, if I wasn't working, if it was any other situation, the hair of the dog would be a guaranteed. Like, especially on a day off at a weekend, like if I'm going to the football or watching the football or hanging out with my mates or whatever, as long as I'm not driving, I would have like got up and just cracked a beer. Yeah, have a couple of beers, like get going. Like.
Morning, ladies. How are you all? Yes.
And like I always say as well, if people talk about it, I always say that it's not that, like when I say I don't drink, it's because I've already had enough. Like I've drunk enough. I've clearly spent enough and drunk enough. You know what I mean? I've had enough alcohol. It's not, there's no other brand of alcohol out there that I haven't tried apart from pure, proper French, what's it called? The one that begins with A and it's like green and it makes you go mad. Absinthe. Yeah, apart from the real, like, proper make you go mad absinthe, I think I've drunk pretty much every kind of alcohol there is, and I don't need any more. I've had enough.
Yes. Oh, the toy twins are back at work. Oh.
Yes, but there's nowhere to put them.
Oh, not again. Nowhere to put
There's
them
only
again.
the top shelf that I can't reach.
It's just the fact she's quite small.
Yeah.
She says I'm half an inch taller than her.
Turn onto the shelf. Put your arm up and touch that. See?
Well,
You touched that top shelf.
Yes, but I can't reach.
Oh, well, you can't win them all. I'm hoping Nick's finished turning the dump out back into a functioning stockroom.
Nearly.
Oh, my God. Actually, this is worse, isn't it? Well, what's he been bloody well doing? It's a tip.
He doesn't do anything. He fucks around, swans about. He's not actually someone that does work. He likes to be in the middle of the work, doing the bureaucracy bit in the middle. Not proper bureaucracy, but like flouncing around, doesn't he? Other people do the work and he organises the people. But as you saw, he doesn't organise them. He lets them organise themselves. So he doesn't do anything, does he? I get my egg on with that guy. I tell you why I get my egg on more with...
You got yourself a lassie. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody, and all that kind of jazz. Welcome back to the channel. This is my tip on how to make a homemade latte.
What's a latte? Do you mean a milky coffee?
Really simple, really easy, right? Firstly, get about 2/3 of a mug full of milk. Put
right.
Put it in the microwave for 1.5 to 2 minutes.
Okay. This is already taking too long.
In another cup, get 1.5 scoops of what I recommend, Nescafe Gold Blend Alterica. 1.5 scoops, and if you want your sugar, put your...
This is Gordon Ramsay level chefing.
Sugar in there as well. Boiling water.
Square cup.
Like you would. And let that just do its thing. And then you want to whisk this up. I suggest you get 2 hands, one on either side, and spin it like crazy. You will end up with all that frothy, foamy milk. Pour it in.
Latte. Got some of that art on top as well, like they do in Costa.
You've got yourself a latte. You've got yourself a latte.
You've got yourself a latte. So this guy doesn't do any work, does he? Just like middle manages it around, and that gets my egg because I've worked quite hard in certain... Sometimes I've not worked hard, let's be fair. Sometimes I've had jobs like working at bloody... what do you call it? It wasn't called Morrison's back then. What was it called? It was called... Did I not have background music on this whole time? What's going on with that? It was called Safeway, wasn't it? Safeway. I used to work at Safeway, and I didn't work very hard there, I'll tell you that. But other times I've worked quite hard, especially when I ran my own business, the hairdressers, and like the opportunity to have this amount of stock space, this amount of space. Like my shop probably could fit in this space. You know, I had a small salon in the centre of a busy town centre that's quite expensive for floor space. So like the idea that they've just got it piled up with crap, and that this guy just swans about, and you know, this thing never gets really fixed. Like, this thing would have been shit if Mary hadn't turned up forever. Like, it would have been shit forever, wouldn't it? So, like, the idea that he can just get away with that and not lose his job. Whereas if I'd run my business like that, then I would have been closed in a week. Safeway. You all used to work at Safeway. You used to work at Safeway. Nice. What Safeway did is I had a lip piercing here, and they said you've got to put a plaster over it because it's a piercing. And I was like, come on. I've got to sit behind the desk here going beep, beep, with a blue plaster on my face there. It's a lip piercing. And they were like, you've got to be a blue plaster. So what I did was I got the blue plaster, I cut it into a ball and stuck it over the ball and screwed the ball back on. So the piercing was covered in blue plaster. But it was like, you know, yeah, they didn't like that. I got loads of trouble stories about Safeway. Back in those days, you could smoke in the staff room. I used to sit there and smoke 10 fags in the staff room, like smoke my pack of 10 Marlboros. Ugh.
Just look at it. Just look. Look under here. Look under here. What do you think,
I
Tiz?
think that's awful.
It's a danger, really.
And they used to make you take your cigarette breaks in staggered, or so you couldn't all have a chat together. And like while you're sitting in there finishing a cigarette, someone would come in, and that means it's the end of your break. And I'd be like, oh, for fuck's sake! Like I'm not going now. I'm just going to carry on smoking. You can talk to me. Like, we can talk for a bit. You're not supposed to. It's one at a time.
If you need to get through to the bric-a-brac.
But I thought my role to Nick was do the back room and get a system.
There isn't one, is there?
Nick, good
Morning, Mary. How are you?
Oh, blimey, you've had a haircut.
I have.
That looks rather cute.
Thank you very much.
That's
You
the
look rather
nicest.
splendid yourself.
That's the nicest thing I'm going to say to you this morning.
Excellent.
Good.
How are you? Well?
I'm good.
Morning.
When were you last here?
It's like he's blushing as well.
Last Tuesday. Haven't been here since.
You were last there last Tuesday.
Say that.
Mary Portis is in town helping you out with your shop, and you're not like in there every day fucking nailing it. Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, this, like, she is incredibly successful. She's got loads of knowledge, passion. The TV cameras are with her. Like, I'm not saying get up her bum and fake it, but I would just be so, like, grateful is probably the right word, to be in there with the opportunity to learn from her. And I'd be like, anything I can do to just hang out with her more. Are you going to lunch? Can I come? I don't want to be annoying, but, like, you know, we're doing the show. I'm here to learn. What can you teach me? Like, I'm your apprentice for the next 2 weeks, yeah? Like, anytime you're here, I'm here. Obviously, he's turned up because Mary's here, but when she's not, everything Mary said, thinking about what Mary said, let's try and, like, next time she comes, I wanted to see the development, the progress. If I've got an idea that I can think she might like, hopefully she might like it, let's see that happen. Like, you know, why is he not engaged with the process? This could be life-changing. If she thought he was good, imagine the opportunities she could open up for him with her wealth of retail, like she whatever you'd call it, like, opportunities. Said opportunities twice, but, like, surely she employs people and has people, like, recommended for jobs and stuff. Like, this is such a weird behaviour from him in my mind.
Come and have a look out the back.
Jolly good. Has it not improved, do I take it?
Like, look at how cool she looks in her... I mean, the designer clothes might be expensive and a bit designer and this and that, okay, yeah? But look at how cool she looks with her bang-on haircut and a snazzy jacket. And, like... You're not going to get someone of her sort of capability through your doors volunteering. Like, she's effectively volunteering, isn't she, like the others? Like, very often. Like, you've got to be taking notes here. You need to be taking notes.
Blimey, it's looking full, isn't it? I have had phone calls from about this. Spoke to Graham and...
Like, if I'd have known she was coming in, I'd have been here the day before to see what this was like, because that was the thing she last tasked me with doing, yeah? And if it was like this, I wouldn't have been able to go, like, home. I'd have been in there working on it all night. Mary's coming tomorrow. I couldn't, how has he just swanned in? Like, how is he not there before her?
Wendy, yesterday, and May sort of said it was in hand.
What does that mean?
Well, clearly it's not. Clearly it's got so full you can't move it in here, which is not the intention of exercise, obviously, was it?
Nick.
It's almost like he's trying to say to her, like, this is bad, isn't it? Like, these old women are bad at this. What do you want me to do about it? But, like, she's saying to him, this is your responsibility. Out of all of them, he's the one that's getting paid. Like, his attitude stinks, doesn't it, to me? Well, it does to me. He'd make a great politician. He does remind me, maybe it's that, maybe he's gone to, I'm not trying to be bad about private school or whatever, but, you know, maybe he's gone to private school and, you know, had it a bit like, you know, silver spoon. And, like, no, because those sort of people do end up in politics, don't they? He just, to me, he's instantly dislikable in so many ways. Like, the attitude, the sort of manner of it all, the sort of cocky assuredness that it's not even falling on his shoulders, that he doesn't even give a shit. I mean, maybe that describes me when I was in these positions. But I wasn't a volunteer, or, like, I wasn't in these sort of positions, you know. But that might describe me at Safeway when I was 16, you know. But because I literally didn't give a shit, you know. But yeah, it's his, and also he's in this position of, like, leadership, so everyone else looks to him and is reliant on him in some way, and he just leaves it up to them and doesn't give a shit.
Tip, mate.
This is the first time I've been here in 5 days. I'm seeing it with a fresh pair of eyes. We have to allow the volunteers to get on with it. I've communicated with them the best I can. I've spoken to them.
Don't know, Nick. You can't say we have to allow the volunteers to get on with it. The volunteers don't know. They don't know. They've never run a retail business before.
That's like me saying I'll allow my 12-year-old daughter to get on with it. She's not run a retail business
I think
before.
that's fair to a point, but I don't think you're crediting with a great deal of nous. I mean,
I'm not crediting you with a great deal of nous. Look at this. You said you were going to put some systems in, and we've got a dump. There's no system at all. And all you're saying to me is, oh, we've got to let them get on with it. We can't.
No, no.
I'll tell you what really annoys me as well is he's the manager here. He's the one where I'm not shouting myself up too much here, but like if anything went in the hairdressing salon, like it comes to me at the end of it. Like they are sole traders, like the people I used to rent the chairs to. Like they are responsible for their own work, and like we can talk about this and that. But ultimately, it's my name above the door. I gave them the keys to the salon. I'm making those decisions. It comes to me if there's something wrong. Yeah. And like when there's a problem, I can't pass it on and say, well, she's an apprentice, she didn't know, it's her fault or whatever. It's my fault if I put the apprentice on your hair and they made a mistake, you know. I'm the one that's taking the response. It's my name above the door, it's my shop, I'll take the responsibility. And if someone she's effectively his boss in this situation in a way, isn't she? And he doesn't really have one. So outward consultant, I don't know what the power dynamic is, but if a customer, for example, had said things, there's no way I would ever be passing it off in this way. You know, you have to take the pressure off those people and take it onto you. And the fact that he's sort of arguing it, the ladies are in the shop. Like, it's a disgusting way to treat the volunteers, to sort of not take the responsibility and pass it on to them. And like the buck should stop with this guy. That's why I don't like it so much.
No, I'm not saying that. You're saying, for this pile up, I just felt that you were being rather critical of the volunteers here.
Oh, that would be easy for you to think. I'm not being critical of the volunteers. I think God help them coming in here.
You're leaving the volunteers out to hang, like you're leaving them out to dangle because you're saying either they fix it or it's fucked and it's their fault, and either you can be critical of, or if you're being critical, you're being critical of the volunteers. She was literally being critical of you, and you won't even acknowledge that it's on your shoulders.
Tuesday morning to this tip, I wouldn't do that to anyone.
I totally agree with you. This is not a safe working environment right now. This is not.
It's not safe.
There's
it's
not clear
anything.
access. But this is in hand right now. This is unacceptable. I totally agree with you.
Is this in hand?
I am not defending. No.
Is this in hand? Do you feel this is in hand, Matt?
Sorry. No, not at this moment in time, no.
Of course it is.
I'm not going to go on anymore, but I just think it needs sorting. It needs sorting, and it needs a system on how this can sort. And you know what, though? This is fundamental stuff, Nick. I'm not asking you to develop the buying strategy, the sales. I'm asking you to sort out the stockroom.
No, I totally.
The way she's worded that, I love that as well. I'm not asking you, and she's not going to be asking him to do any jobs where he has to do a buying strategy or anything like that, is she? You know, the bigger jobs. She's asking him to sort out the stockroom. Like, if you were there on work experience, she might ask you to sort out the stockroom. It's one of the most basic things, and if you cannot get a handle on it, then you stood up in front of Mary Porter's, like, phenomenal success in the field that you are working in, and said, I can't even do the job at the bottom rung of the ladder. Like, the most basic thing, the first step, I can't hack it. Like, what's going on?
I agree with you.
Yeah, indirectly telling him, or like kind of directly telling him as well. She's smart. She's very smart.
Asking you to develop the buying strategy.
And I think, like I said, I think she's smart because unlike someone like Alan who thinks on his feet and says words, she's actually thinking about what she's saying and how to say it. Like, you thought he would make a good politician, she'd make a much better one, because not only would she be able to dominate him in these sort of debates and conversations, but also she can communicate her ideas well, put her ideas across to other people, like make her points clearly, back them up, articulate them, all that, but and have plans and ideas. And she's also like there on time with the smart haircut and all that. There is something in that, you know. Scruffy, I don't know, but when I did do my shop for a bit at the start, mainly, sort of went to pot towards the end, but at the start mainly, I'd be there with my shiny shoes and my black clothes, you know, looking smart, boss of the shop. It's part of it, isn't it? Like, it's all part of the, yeah.
Strategy, the sales. I'm asking you to sort out the stockroom.
No, I totally agree with you.
I totally agree.
I don't think it's fair, because I don't think she's had a chance to actually, sit down and rationally discuss what the issue is, what's been going on, what's been good and bad. She's come in here and made her own mind up and hasn't spoken to me about what's been going on and what has been happening behind the scenes. Some of the volunteers...
Unbelievable that he would now throw Mary under the bus. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's been in there doing the work. We've seen it all on the video.
...chosen to get less involved out here than they might do.
I had a similar haircut to him. I've had all the haircuts. I've had all the haircuts, or to Mary Porter's. I've had all the haircuts. I've even had a women's bob because, like, you know, the girls are training. I don't mind if they give me a lady's haircut once or twice. Obviously, I had it cut then again afterwards, but I have had a similar haircut to Mary once. I had it cut into a women's bob once. Yeah. I didn't keep it. I was just like, do you want to practice doing a bob? I'm going to have my hair cut shorter, do a bob, and then cut it shorter, like, but do a bob first. Like, yeah. I've had all the different haircuts and all the different colours. Yeah, I was running a hairdressing shop, so all the snazzy haircuts. I went into hairdressing with long hair, and my first experience of hairdressing, like thinking about it, was I went for a haircut at a prestigious salon, talked to them about the concept of me being a hairdresser while I had my haircut, you know, sort of snuck in through the back door by getting my haircut and chatting about it. And at the end they said, well, we've got a junior position you could maybe do, you know. And I was like, oh, I'll do a bit of that, sweeping the broom, you know. I'm not a bit of chit chat. Got my way in. So I started, actually had the hair down to about where it is now, and the lady cut it like quite up, like shorter. And then after that I was like getting haircuts every few weeks until it was like, you know, it just used to get cut all the time. Used to have like my boss used to say to me, bless her, I used to like Charlotte really a lot, and she used to say to me, like she used to get me and say, it's time for your haircut, sort of thing. And like, I just used to get, she just do me a nice, like, solid, cool haircut. Like, she was really good.
Otherwise, because some of the volunteers are being a little bit hands off.
Yeah, I think she was right to do that because he is in charge of the shop basically, isn't he? So, yes, I think she was right to point it out.
I feel pissed off. You know, I feel upset. I am just going to have this reversing back to its old ways. We're going to get nowhere. And it needs a leader to do that. I'm happy to be the leader, set those standards, but you need someone who's going to maintain them. And the problem is, it's not happening now with the area manager. I can't carry on trying to invigorate this business on my own.
What's happening now?
No retailer out there operates without a shop manager. My charity only has 17 managers across their chain of 100.
Employing a paid shop manager
Right, she's going to the head office now.
in Orpington is necessarily going to give us the best return.
I believe that you could practically double the takings that you're doing in there.
If we did, we'd have to. If we put a paid manager in, we would have to at least double those takings. Because for us, this is about returning as much money to save the children as we can.
If you don't start investing in some real training and some management in those shops, then I believe you're going to be left behind. I genuinely do believe that.
Look at that smile. She doesn't like having to be told from Mary either, does she?
I worry where your future will be.
She does not like that.
She's a lot to learn. It's not like a normal standard retail business. It's very different. She's going into a poor performing shop and we want to see some absolute significant growth.
Anyone running a retail chain or a retail shop that's not in the charity sector wouldn't even think twice about putting a shop manager in there. Of course, the minute the shop manager goes, they panic. You know, who's the next one? Who's been trained up? Who's the deputy manager? Who are the supervisors? So even having this discussion is slightly bizarre. A few days later, and despite their reservations, head office have agreed to give me a paid shop manager. And whilst I wait to fill the position, I've got an idea.
Take a seat. Yeah. You know that we're advertising for the shop manager. Are you applying?
Yes, I have applied.
You have applied, good lad.
My application's in.
I want to put a proposal to you, Graham, because it's going to take us about a month to find and do the interviews and say who's going to be the shop manager.
Right.
I'm wondering if you'd be interested in being the volunteer shop leader in the interim.
I'd be quite happy to do that.
Yeah?
Yes, I would.
Bit of a weird one, though, isn't it? Because if you don't get the job as manager, then you're going to feel a bit stuffed, aren't you? But he definitely wants to be the manager, and he's getting the seal of approval from... Oh, this is good, isn't it?
I'd be happy to do that.
It's an opportunity to show your skills.
Right.
OK, don't you think so?
Yes, without a doubt.
Now, the downside is if you don't get the job, you might feel a bit low and think, well, I'm the volunteer shop leader.
Isn't she good? Isn't she brilliant? I love Mary so much. The downside is this, clearly outlined, clearly stated, so you don't later on feel that you got stiffed or, you know, she said it out like, this is an opportunity, but it might not be that this is a golden goose egg. There may be a negative because you might feel bad if you don't get the job. Be prepared.
And I haven't got the job, and I'm a bit pissed off. Would you be?
No, not really, no.
No.
No, I'll just go with that. No, if I don't get it, I don't. There's, you know, there's other things out there, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, will you do that with me? And then I want you to give it your best shot, OK?
Yes.
I'll always look nervous about that.
I'm very nervous. That's me. I'm a nervous individual. But I mean, I always think, oh my goodness, you know, I'm looking in the headlights all the time, you know. But I'll give it my best shot.
Maybe don't say you're a nervous individual at a job interview.
Now it's time to let the gang know that they've got a new boss.
Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. This is a bit deja vu and Groundhog Day, isn't it? Everybody sits in the same place. I can close my eyes and I'd know who was there. What's been happening, and the biggest thing that I've learnt since coming in here, is the left hand doesn't know what the right's doing, because you all work different shifts. And therefore, you will see that we have put a sign up that is looking for a manager to manage the business. Whilst we are looking for that manager, I am getting Graham to work with me as the volunteer leader until we have taken on our manager. And I would like you all to support that. Do I have your support?
Yes.
Oh, come on, come down here a second, stand next to me. Come on. No, but it is important.
I stood at the back.
Yeah, because
Who's this young lad here? We haven't seen him in it at all. Snazzy young lad.
he always stands at the back, and now you're going to stand at the front, OK? But it is tough to come in here and...
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if she'd put the one that was moaning in as manager? I've noticed her haircut's been pretty sharp as well the whole way, and as this has gone on, her haircut has got more and more like Mary's. She's gone for the same colour as Mary now as well.
Who have once been your colleagues and your pals to say, actually, can we do it this way? It is tough, and I want him to know that he has your support. Please, will you let him know it?
Yes.
I think it went very well. Yes, I think it went well. I feel better now, having sort of it's out in the open and everybody. Well, I say everybody knows. Half the people know. The other half will probably know by about 7 o'clock tonight. I should think. The grapevine is pretty good, isn't it? But no, I'm glad that I was a bit nervous to begin with. You probably could pick up on that, could you? Did I look a bit frightened?
All in favour?
Yeah. Aye.
Yes. Eyes to the right, eyes to the left.
Yes, go along with that one.
Yes.
Don't ask me.
He's got a good month at least where he can build those bridges with the team. Now it's up to Graham. I can't do any more. I'm there for him. I'll guide
It got dark and they needed to film this, so they filmed it outside under a street light, but it was still dark, so they boosted up the colour and ended up doing the saturation as well. That's why the shot looks weird.
him. He's got a big opportunity. It's now down to him.
Cheeky little shot. Sometimes you get those.
The thing is, I love this gang in here, but there's a little bit of cynicism, and there's a little bit of... I can see it, you know, and at one point it makes me laugh, but when I'm feeling a bit down and low, it's quite stressful. So I'm hoping that I can go, right, this will work. And can you now start to see the journey that I'm taking you on? I think it's the Toy Twins' morning as well. Morning, ladies.
Mary.
The Toy Twins. Packing and unpacking. Gosh, we got a lot of toys today, ladies.
They never stop with the toys.
Nowhere to put them.
What? Oh, no, not the nowhere to put them again, Irene.
Well,
Right.
there's still nowhere. You go and look and see where you can put them.
What in the Toy Twins? Nowhere to put the toys. You weren't giving me a hard time the minute I come in, were you? How's the stockroom? Whoa! Yes!
Brilliant.
When did that come in?
Wow.
God, I never knew I'd be so excited over an old cupboard. How good is that? Someone's built that.
Finally, Nick's pulled his finger out, and now the pressure's on me. Let's hope the hours of knocking on doors has delivered some great stock.
With love.
Yes.
The with loves.
Yes.
Have any of you been through this?
No, I haven't been in since last Wednesday, so
Oh, God. The first thing I see, imagine the toy twins.
That's interesting to me as well. Like, I don't know if Nick has done this or who's done this. Obviously, since the managers come in, they've got this done. And Nick's not there again. But the With Love section, which is the tagged items, which are specifically brought in by people who have tagged them through that. Like, these are supposed to be like high-priced, good quality items, and no one's gone through them and put them straight out. Shouldn't they be like, get them out straight away?
They'll never get that.
It's bizarre. That tag should be like gold dust to them. Someone's put the tag on it. It's a good one. You know, it's coming through the tag system. Get it straight out. Instead, they're fucking around with old toys out the front.
On the shelf, that's all I'll hear. Right, what else? See, sandwich tongs. I can't go on.
Sandwich tongs. I can't go on.
The sandwich tongs.
I can't go on. Sandwich tongs. And to be honest, I would feel, I love her so much. I'd feel like exactly the same. Like, the whole point of this system is that you attach the ticket to an item that you think has real resale value, not just some rubbish you want to get rid of, not the jumble sale, not the bric-a-brac, an item you think has real retail value. Maybe an old coat that doesn't fit anymore, or something you bought that maybe isn't the right, colour or shape for you, but is still quite good and it's been in the cupboard for a while. Now's the time to put the big ticket on, give it to the charity as a gift, like not rubbish you want to get rid of, but something that you think has real value. Sandwich tongs. Sandwich tongs. She'd love a Hoover for her birthday. The famous story of my family is that on my mum's side, this is my granddad bought my nan a Hoover. She wanted one, and it was like one of the mod cons, one of the new mod cons. But she bought her a Hoover for Christmas, or was it an iron? I think it was a Hoover or an iron, and she wouldn't talk to him until March. She was well cross.
See, sandwich tongs.
Sandwich tongs.
Can't go
and he wasn't a bad chopper, he just made a mistake.
Who has sandwich tongs? Well,
sandwich tongs, I can't go on.
See, sandwich tongs. I can't go on. Who has sandwich tongs? Well, look at that 1970s old
They could be
pan
collectible.
Rita, you've lost the plot since I've
They
been
could
here.
be collectible, and she's like... Rita's fun. Look at her. She's doing their same haircut as Mary. Sandwich tongs. And do you know what I think's funny about it as well? Is that earlier in the episode, when they were selling those cakes, that one woman wouldn't sell the cakes because she said they had to touch them all the time. So it would have been better if they had the sandwich tongs then. There would have been a use for them during this episode. The perfect use. They're just out of place, out of time. Poor sandwich tongs.
My darling,
Brandy glasses?
that sort of stuff I'm not so sure. It's a kind of a gifty thing, isn't it? That's been in the cupboard that I'm not sure. Come on, please be better. Oh, I bet you it's an old hip flask, another thing that everybody's... Yep, hip flask. My brilliant new stock is exactly the same as what we already sell. Unwanted presents and clothes from the back of the cupboard. I mean, look, something special.
Another aspect that I find so strange about it is that people have kept those items for so long and then just decided to give them away, effectively throw them away, but give them to the charity. They feel there's some value in them. Like, they feel there's some value in them. They don't just want to throw it in the bin. So we'll give it to the charity. They'll find the value in it. But the charity are finding that it's not valuable either. But the people who've held on to these items, they're not just like... They might end up as trash once they've gone through the charity system, because unless they can actually sell them and there's any retail value in it, it's wasting shop space. That that's the whole point of today's episode, isn't it? But it's interesting to me that people feel there's an inherent value, have held on to the item, but still give it away. And to them, it's like getting rid of it. It's like almost junking it, isn't it? But like they give it to the charity and hope they find... It's like some sort of sense of sentiment. And the reason those old ladies... Hey, you. What are you licking there? You're not going anywhere. You just asked to come in here. You're here with Daddy. That's what's happening. And you're not messing about. You sit. You lie down. You sit and lie down. Daddy's nearly finished. And then we'll go to Nonnuts after that. That's the plan. Where are you going? Have you been... You're not messing your bummy, you're not licking your bummy, are you? We're not going out now, traipsing around. It's 3 in the morning, I'll tell you that. You can go out in the garden. We can't, it's 3 in the morning. Oh, there's no way. There's no way, son. There's no way.
The same as what we already sell. I mean, unwanted presents and clothes from the back of the cupboard. I mean, look, something special that has meaning to you.
Oosh.
That's how much meaning that has to me, sweetheart. I'm disappointed, aren't you? Oh, don't look so sad. I'll get over it. I'm just disappointed in people. I wanted people to think about what they were given and actually make it a bit of a deal. Because we can all chuck out the old bloody brandy glass that Aunt Vi gave us that we're never going to drink out of, or the stupid old sandwich pickup holders. Come on. You know, is that really giving? Is that really giving? No.
Don't shoot yourself, Mary, please.
She makes an excellent point as well. Like, as I was just saying, like, people think there's some value in it so they don't throw it away, but... you know, because it's a physical item, it's a thing. But actually, is it really gifting? Is it really giving if you don't care about it in any way and think it's junk and you just don't want it? Like, and that's the whole point of that ticket system. I can't believe the people who attach the tickets. Like, it's one thing to think, I'm not really going to give something, I'm not going to take an item that I actually think has value and give it to them. You know, not that jacket or whatever. It's okay to think that, but then to attach the ticket to just some rubbish and hand it in anyway. You didn't have to attach the ticket to rubbish. You could have not done the ticket.
We can't do without you.
Oh, you little darling. Before I stick my head in the oven, I'm going to work out how much money this lot is worth. Dodgy old brandy glasses. So, high price range, medium price range, low price range, £2.
Pound for sandwich tongs.
Where did you get that from? Out of the box?
It's not in yet. Oh, I'm going to try that for a £5. That is a brand new Ruth Rendell novel.
Put 150.
We have achieved nothing so far, Mary. Don't get upset. That's life in the charity shop. 200. Now for the moment of truth. How much have I made for the charity? God.
If it sells...
£54.50. That's what I've made.
And
if we sell.
I tell you what's interesting to me as well. She's angry. Okay, she's angry at people for not donating good stuff, like the whole concept of her thing. But I think she's not trying to pass the buck here onto those other people. She mentioned it earlier, but she's not sitting here and saying people are so cheap, people are so cheap. Like, she's mentioned it once, but what she's actually thinking is, this is an idea that I've had. I put it into action. It has not worked. So she's self-critical of, like, you know, her own standards. She's open-minded to the idea that not every idea will work. Like, she's looking at it and thinking, is there something I've done wrong here? Can I remedy this? Is there something to change about it? And, like, you know, you can write off bad ideas, that's fine. But I love the fact that she's not just sort of thrown a bit of blame around and egged off. She's, like, gone into it. She's worked out how much it's all cost. She wants to know the proper stuff, you know, get the results, actually analyse what's going on. And maybe it was a failed idea, and that's going to be okay for her, I think. But I like the fact she's taking the time to do this as well. To be self-critical.
If we sell it.
If we sell it, exactly.
Pathetic. It's pathetic. I need to just do something different now.
See how she says, I need to do something different now. And whether that means she needs to leave the shop to clear her head because it's getting on her nerves, or if she needs to come for make a different... Like, she's sitting, this didn't work. So instead of keep doing it, push it, change it a little bit. No, we're scrapping this. I need to think of something different. She's prepared to burden that responsibility and to make that decision quickly as well. Like, the first time she investigated this, how's it going? It's not going well. Axe it. Let's change it. Like,
I thought I'd created a great campaign to inspire the public to give better donations, but I was wrong. And by the time I get home, I'm wondering if I'm out of my depth.
ooh, fucking hell, look at her lovely house.
The level of merchandise in the shop is just so bad, Peter, I can't even start to tell you.
I think you've taken on too many problems. because nobody's shopping there. The stock's awful, the training's awful, the environment's awful.
That's pretty harsh.
Maybe also you're getting too emotionally involved.
Oh, and when has ever that not happened in my work? I mean, like,
You could maybe just take a step back from it.
You know, I looked at those women today, and I know I laugh the fact that they're 80-year-olds, but they're really good people. You know what I mean? That really give their time and their love and their energy. I'm getting sad about it, I know, but it's like really good people, really good, gorgeous, fun, fabulous people that give.
Having a bad time?
No, they're not, but they can't keep it going, Mel.
No.
They can't keep it going, God love them. You know, they're working on the old business of what it was before.
I feel like I've told this story before on the stream, but I'll tell it again quickly because it's pertinent here. In my hometown, there was a lot of money raised by a sort of charity group to do a kids, teenagers hangout sort of cafe bar. And they make, when I say a lot of money, I'm talking like hundreds of thousands of pounds. Yeah, they raised all this money. They got big donator people, and they got volunteers to help. I turned up to a couple of meetings to sort of like offer volunteer support, and you know, it was like a sort of strategizing, planning meeting. Let's hear all the voices from the volunteers meeting, sort of thing. In the first meeting, I listened to what they had to say. In the second meeting, I told them what I thought and walked out. I said, there's no way I can give up my time for this if we're not going to make better decisions, because the stuff they had going on, like they'd hired a big hall, like it was a big empty venue. The landlord thought this is brilliant because he got all his rent paid, didn't he? You know, the estate agents thought it was brilliant because they got all the rent paid for this sort of big vacant in a really prime spot, in tourist prime spot. So that's not where you want to put it because it's for the local kids. They spent money on like they were going to make burgers, because kids want to eat burgers, but obviously they want to eat them from McDonald's, don't they? They were going to have like a pool table and one lady was putting vinyl records on the wall, like as decorations. And I was thinking, like, but the kids don't know what a vinyl record is. It's not Happy Days. Like, we might do milkshakes. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, they went under before they could get the doors open, as far as I could see. You know, just absolutely dead in there. No, it was pretentious rubbish from some people who had no idea what was needed and how to spend the money, but they were good at raising money. So I felt a bit sad about that as well, because the amount of money that went through it, if you'd have given it to me and I would have done something for the local kids, they'd still be open now. Like, you know, like, it's just such a waste. And again, I volunteered. I run a business around the corner. I work 6 days a week, and I volunteered to give up some time. And I thought, I can't waste my time on this, because I know what it takes in business in this town, and this place is going to be under within seconds. So yeah, I had no hope for them, so I just walked out on it. But it's sad when that shit goes down. Yeah, like, they're all well-meaning. There was like these people in this charity shop, you know, they were just not in touch with what was going on. So
I'm back to square one. I failed to make my charity any more money. Whatever I do next has got to work.
Good morning, charity retail. You could not sell that jumper for a fiver, Chris.
I'll be honest with you, I've had enough.
Could someone bring my 12-year-old daughter in to run this business, because it might be a bit better?
First impression, dark and drab.
One of the regular volunteers has handed in a notice.
You should be a little embarrassed by it.
Yeah, I've created a shop that doesn't suit the staff.
So, there will be further chapters of that. I'm going to upload it to YouTube on Super Chuff for you, so those that are watching there, you be good. If you can't be good, you're naughty. I hope it doesn't get hard copyright problems, because then, if it does, we won't be able to go on and watch the other ones. But I'm guessing it'll be fine. I'm hoping. And then, yeah, it was enjoyable, wasn't it? That's the sort of good old-fashioned fun that you used to get on these streams on Twitch all the time before copyright people moved in and said you can't watch all of Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares.